How y'all doing, man? Good afternoon. We are back with another day of what's essentially E3 Prologue Part 2. Hopefully everybody's Friday is going excellently. Today we're watching Koch Primetime show, and after that, I believe that there's the IGN Expo. So we're here for, I believe, 2 hours. I hope you all are excited to see some games. And we only have a few seconds to go, so let's just jump on in. Wow, 6,000 viewers is not bad for like a show that basically promised that they weren't going to have any of the major presentations that you would expect them to have. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Hello there guys, my name is Opal Cadman and welcome. Today I have three main tasks. The first one is to introduce you to Koch Media's brand new premium gaming label. Number two is to take a deep dive into some of the games coming to that label. And finally, number three is to show you what the new label will be getting up to in the streaming world. I want to welcome streamers who are co-streaming this today. Hello. Some of you guys are guys who I have looked up to and watched for many years.
Aww.
And speaking of people who I've looked up to for many years, I am so proud to introduce Jeff Keighley, who will be helping me co-host us through this entire list of games. Jeff, how's it going?
Thanks, Opal. It is so great to be here with you for the first ever live stream from Prime Matter. I was honored yesterday to reveal the label to the world at the Summer Game
Now, he
Fest
said that
kickoff event.
but
and
I can't help
wow,
wondering
you got a lot of games there
if
in that
he wasn't
sizzle,
like
over
if
a
this
dozen
isn't
games.
pre-recorded
So I
and
know
wasn't
today
done like weeks ago.
you're going to go a little bit more in depth to talk about all these games, talk to a lot of the developers. But for those of you that might have missed it yesterday or just want to see it again, let's kick things off with a look at that announcement sizzle reel for Prime Matter.
This is what I meant. Like, this announcement reel really should go at the end.
Sometimes I ask myself what it all means.
Let's begin.
Bump that. There we go. What's good, Terrence? How you doing? Hey,
Is that who you are?
A real.
My purpose makes me who I am.
It's crazy how they announced. Like, I don't know that they should have
I
shown
finally
this
have the feeling we're doing
at the
something
Summer Game
worthwhile.
kickoff.
Being relied on to succeed
It's fine. It's
where others would
decent
fail.
enough as an opener. It would be better as an ending. I think there's like 3 games in this that I'm really interested in. King's Bounty 2, Echoes at the end, and there was one other one that I wanted to check out, but I might have missed it.
Prime Matter.
It's insane just how big
Yes,
Koch
guys,
Media is.
you just saw 12 games and counting. And that's just the start for the Prime Matter. But before we get into these incredible games, what I like to call the juicy bits, I want to talk to you about what Prime Matter is and who we are. Prime Matter is the new premium gaming label of Koch Media. It dedicates itself to delivering a range of immersive and diverse games from amazing development talent all around the globe. It highlights the varied influences of global studios and their different approaches to game making. The new label will lead through creativity and expression, with games that enthrall players with larger-than-life storytelling, create incredible moments, and above all, they're fun. The team behind Prime Matter is a melting pot of incredible talent, led by seasoned industry veterans and complemented by a young, fresh, dynamic team of multicultural gaming experts. The team behind are gamers at heart, working with such a wide range of passionate developers producing games together by gamers for gamers.
Who else would be making
And
these
that
games
being
at this
said,
point?
for all you keen-eyed individuals out there, you would have seen that one game was actually missing in our 12-game lineup for Prime Matter during the video. That is a game that comes from the Embracer family itself. Jeff got to sit down with Todd Hollinshead and talk all about Painkiller.
All right, you saw the news yesterday. Yes, there is a new Painkiller coming, and Todd is joining me now.
I do not know who was looking
maybe
for
give us a few more details.
But
I
as ever, I'm
know
always happy when
this
there's
is
a new
kind of a fresh project
when
for the team at
old
Saber. And
franchises
you
continue to
guys,
get
first
new
of all,
work, I'm like,
I love that
new
you and
games,
Tim
I'm always
Bullets are
happy. It's
there,
like, you know.
continuing to build out Saber. And Painkiller was a franchise. You and I are both OG. We remember it was it probably 15 years ago at this point?
Yeah, it's been a while. Closer to 2 decades than 1.
My God. All right. Well, but it's one of those classic games. Let me ask you, from a Prime Matter perspective, you've been in the industry like me all those years, and we remember that game. Why was this a franchise that you guys wanted to sort of bring back?
Well, Painkiller, when I played it back in the early 2000s, this was a game that had, it was dark, a little twisted, intense, cool guns. These are the things that, kind of hit the nail on the head of what appeals to me in a video game, both as, as a fan and then also as a publisher at Saber. So, we're hoping to capture those same sort of elements and bring those into the new game.
Yeah, you guys are certainly masters of doing shooters from all your time at id, and Painkiller does have a lot of that DNA of fast-paced action with a little bit of a twist to it, and the fact you guys are working with Prime Matter is also exciting. Brand new publisher, brand new label. What do you think of the fact that they're doing this label, and it's such a diverse lineup of companies and partners around it? I know you guys work with a lot of publishers, but it's pretty exciting to see a new label announced. That doesn't happen every day.
No, it doesn't. And, I think that within the Embracer group, it's just a business that is growing. We've got great leadership at the top. And so Koch Media is, wanting to expand their publishing. And I think that, the name they chose, Prime Matter, sort of is, it's sort of like the primordial soup of putting together stuff from nothing. So, it kind of makes me think of this is what we do when we make video games. You start with Pixel 0, and then at the end of the day, you make a game. So I feel like that, that kind of resonates with hopefully the type of experiences that we're going to be providing, not just within Prime Matter and working with them between Saber and our partnership, but, across the Embracer group as well.
Yeah, no, it sounds like they have a lot of games in development, but the fact that you are bringing back Painkiller is really exciting.
Embracer
and I know,
has so many
fans,
games
of course,
in development. It's absurd.
Want to know a little bit about, what's the game going to look, how's it going to play. Probably can't share a lot of details about it, but you're kind of in the early stages of development now on this?
Yeah, super early, and if anything that I would share, I'd probably get assassinated for back home once it got back to the developer, because all these the first stuff that comes out almost always gets sort of iterated on and changed, and so we're trying to keep the lid on the details until we have something that's going to be really awesome to show.
All right, well, we'll be waiting for it, and we know with you involved,
it's interesting that this was
something very special.
It feels like it's
fast-paced action. I have no doubt.
Like
so
new
Painkiller
or whatever
coming soon,
and
from
yet
the team
they have nothing.
At Saber, published by.
All they can do is
Matter.
talk to
Thanks,
one of the
Todd.
developers and be like,
"Thanks, Jeff.
Hey, it's coming out." Like, all right, cool, but
I really can't wait to hear more about Painkiller.
give me
and the
at
fact
least
that
like a cinematic.
Todd and Tim and the team at Saber are working on it. I think we're going to get something pretty special when they are ready to share more. So, exciting stuff in that sizzle reel, Painkiller, Payday, but I know there's a lot more we're here to talk about today as well, right, Opal?
Actually, Prime Matter has 12 games under development right at this minute. We're so excited to show you guys what us and the developers have been up to. However, before you see some of the content that we show you today, I do have to make it clear that some of this is pre-alpha, alpha, high-level concept, and some of it is about to release right around the corner. So please keep that in mind when you're viewing today's show. That being said, how do you guys feel about a psychedelic third-person survival horror game set on what it means to go on a journey about self-enlightenment and what happens when it all goes wrong? I got to speak with the developers of The Chant, work in progress title, about their game and who they are.
Okay, so
our game is about a group of people who go to a spiritual retreat to seek enlightenment, and they basically get a little more than they bargained for. And your character
How about we get a little more than
has
we
to deal
bargained
with
for? You put some games
her own
on it.
personal issues as well
that?
as the cosmic terrors that become awakened.
Cool. So, what type of genre is this game?
And it's a bit hard to pin down with the with all the different influences and styles of gameplay, but I'd say we're probably a survival action horror game.
Okay. Cool. And what was the thinking behind that genre? Is it something that you guys like, or is it just it came left field? What's your decision behind that?
Personally, we always wanted to make a horror game. A big part of our core team have a background in third-person sandbox games, and we really wanted to combine, action mechanics, deep storytelling, and
people were
we
doing
felt
so
that,
much
the
trash
horror
in
genre
Jeff
was
Keighley's Summer
a
Game
really
Fest
exciting space
But
to
this
take
is
that,
the kind of
that
thing that you
background and
shouldn't
play
do.
around with.
So, kind of sticking with
Like-
the horror genre, why did you decide to go with that theme? It's not really like normally what you would see.
I
this
believe
whole
we're-
spiritual awakening thing. So what was?
I believe
what was
we're
the idea
12
behind
minutes
that?
in,
We thought it was
and
just kind of
thus far, the only
an
thing we've seen is the
interesting,
sizzle reel, which
territory
was
to
cool.
explore.
But again,
there is,
That's the kind of thing you show
there's a
after
lot of
everybody's
influence,
impressed, and you see the sizzle reel at
from
the
that
end,
with,
and
like,
it's just
folklore
like,
of the
oh wow,
70s
that's
and-
like this is a lot coming.
folklore
And
so
instead,
forth
the
that,
next
really-
12
really
minutes has been
inspired
devoted
us,
to like
more from a film
interviews
standpoint.
and no
And,
games at
you know,
all.
taking
And
it
this
kind of
is very much
aesthetic,
not
something
what
that
you
was very
do, and it's not the
sensational,
approach
very
that you need to
colorful,
take.
and,
Especially
mixing
if you're a
it
new
with,
developer
with,
and a new publishing studio. Like I'm baffled. Like you have to get people invested before you do things like this.
Was a fresh take
Like-
on the horror space.
I'm trying to think of a
So,
studio.
kind
Like
of
if Naughty
speaking
Dog
of
did something like this,
inspirations
which
and
they would
stuff,
never do,
what video
but if they did
games,
something like
real
this,
life
you'd be
media
invested
has
because you've played the
inspired you to
Uncharted
create this
franchise, you've
title?
played the Last of Us franchise.
Going
And
way
it's
back, when
fine if they
Resident
want to talk
Evil,
about like
Resident
what's
Evil
the
2 is one of my
development,
favorite games of all
the
time.
ethos behind how this world got built up and how why we designed the game the way that we did. Like, okay, cool. I want to know that because I am invested, and the more I know about this franchise, the better for me.
Over the course of
These are new
Over the
games.
course of development,
I have no reason
just
to care.
especially really focusing on,
And you've given me no reason to care, and now you're trying to make me invested through like just two people talking on a screen.
So kind of talking about changes and what you guys are doing on the development side, how close is the game to like the original concept? I understand you guys are still developing, the game's quite far out, but from your original concept to where the game is now, how much has that differed?
The core story and I'd say the aesthetic and the themes.
I will
those
say that was a
all,
very good question to ask.
Those all remain
This game's
intact.
changed so
I'd say
much
our
from
gameplay,
concept to development.
As our team size grew,
From concept to development
we
to actual
added,
release,
we added
games
more,
iterate and change so
we
much,
added deeper
so.
mechanics. I'd say more action to the game. Our game actually has a fair amount of combat in it, especially on the melee side. Those were things that weren't too prevalent in our original concept, and a lot of those things are just kind of based on we're a very small team at first. We're still a relatively small team, but every new person that joins brings something new to the mix. So I'd say on that end, the game has evolved in scope and depth of gameplay.
Awesome. Kind of sticking on that point of, you got a small team, there's a lot of challenges that comes with that. What was the hardest part of making the game so far?
The hardest part was probably trying to make a game that has more realistic production values, because that's where our background comes from. on a smaller scale and budget. So for us, we had to be very strategic, utilizing Unreal.
People just
we wouldn't been
boring
able to build
and
this game without
like this is not.
Engine.
And I don't understand. Here's the thing I really wonder.
Proprietary technology.
Do they never look
and that's also
into
great
how certain shows are
people that
received?
join the team can get on
Like, what was the idea
quite quickly.
when you built this show up? Like,
In
did you not
addition to
look
that,
into
we've been using
what's
photogrammetry,
generally received
from
like
the start.
positively, or do you just like
for both our
we'll put something
environments,
together
all of our
and figure it
characters are
out,
also scanned
and we don't really
actors,
care what the
and
fan
we're
reception
using,
is, which is
also
baffling
tapping into a lot
because
of what's going on in
this
our
is
city.
specifically
Vancouver has a
targeted
pretty
to
big
fans.
film industry, so
It's not
really
like
tapping
old
into the
E3
film,
where it
the
was like
effects industry
we'd have
and
journalists,
tapping
and the
into
journalists
that
would
area
go
of
up
expertise
to these people that they knew,
you know,
and again,
to just
once
kind
you're
of try to
invested,
do things,
and being
as
invested can
efficiently as
be
possible.
you knowing
So
someone,
you've mentioned like
you having a personal
experience in the
relationship with
past
them,
and also
and you
kind
go
of
up and you
how
know them by their
rich
first name, and you
Vancouver
go
is.
down
How
and
much
talk
does
to them,
that
and then you
come
can
in
report
handy
on
when
it,
you're working on the
and people are
game?
invested in your
Well,
reporting
it's
because
been
you're a trusted
extremely
news source.
beneficial.
This
Vancouver, is home
is
to a
digital
lot of AAA
and thus
studios,
directly aimed at fans.
A large portion
like
of
there's
us,
no
work
reason like
together at,
there will be
Rockstar
reporters
and United
reporting
Front
on it.
Games,
I'm gonna write up a
and,
little
we also
a
have
few write-ups
people
about whatever
who have,
actual games I see.
worked at
I can't really write about this.
EA, as well as some.
So I don't know. Like
smaller independent studios as well, and in addition to that, having the film industry here where we can utilize local.
And it's so
talent.
strange
We're
because
working with
THQ
union
Nordic,
actors,
which is
we're scanning.
all
we're
of this is
scanning actors
THQ
as well
Nordic,
that we're
which is
using for our
Embracer Group, which is
characters,
a Saber
and,
Interactive, which is Prime Matter
currently
Games. Like it's all the
auditioning,
same thing, like the same.
A couple.
It's a
remaining
branch off the
characters
same
for
tree,
game,
basically.
And
they
well
have
as,
so many studios,
doing the
and we're doing
touches
this
on our new motion capture
I
studio. So we're going to be
understand.
doing a full cinematics push over the coming months. That's a really exciting place to be right now.
Awesome. Sounds great. In terms of exciting things, when it comes to this game, what are you most proud of at the minute where you are?
I think the thing I'm the most proud of is just what a small focused team can do when they're all sharing the same goal and vision. We, like as I said earlier, we come from different backgrounds, but everyone's managed to come together and really deliver an amazing amount of work for the team size we have. And it's really exciting to be working on a smaller team again, and just having that kind of energy where you're working with everyone on the team day to day.
Yeah, I imagine that is a lot different to probably what some of you are used to coming from those massive studios. So finally, what are the benefits of signing up with a global publisher like Koch, and also being featured on their
Is
brand
that how it's
label?
pronounced? Koch?
It's truly an exciting place
I've been
to
saying
be.
Coke all this time.
Kind of pushing our game as far as we could, and this partnership is really helping to provide more reach and more resources, but I think most importantly also just having a partnership on getting feedback and helping to really expand and push the vision of the game. We've already received a lot of feedback on the title, and being a small team, we're often in our own little echo chamber, and even in a short period of time we've been able to act on a lot of the feedback, and the game has improved considerably since then.
Well, Mike, thank you so much for your time. It's been awesome to talk to you and find out a little bit more about what you guys are going to be offering for the new label. And I can't wait to let gamers finally get their hands on the content. So thank you for your time.
From psychedelic horrors to internet rumors, our next developer created the huge open world of Bohemia and took us on an adventure through the Holy Roman Empire. However, there have been some leaks that this action RPG may have a home on the Switch. Opal sat down with Warhorse Studios to try and get to the bottom.
Oh, is that what this is about?
Kingdom Come Deliverance on the Switch. That is quite some news.
Yes, that's true. Kingdom Come Deliverance is coming to the Nintendo Switch.
No, I don't
think
so.
As you said, it's about gamers, devs, and games. In our case, or in this case, actually gamers play an integral part in the story.
What do you mean?
Also, how's your day going?
Some kind of confusion happened in the end of last year. We Warhorse Studios were preparing the release of the Kingdom Come Deliverance Royal Edition on PlayStation and Xbox, but someone most likely ticked the wrong box in Japan, and it looked like it's going to be released on Switch as well. Of course, by that time there was nothing existing like that. We were not even thinking about the possibility that Kingdom Come Deliverance could go on the Switch. However, Nintendo Japan took this information, some Japanese media, and then the snowball started rolling.
That'd be weird,
all of a sudden it was the talk of the day. Kingdom Come Deliverance is releasing on the Switch, but as I said, nothing like that was planned at all, and we didn't even think about that.
What was the controversy with
now,
Kingdom Come Deliverance?
A few months back, and we think
bad.
It was still somehow cursing around in the Nintendo database.
I want to say they kind of pushed back, like they tried to push the realism angle as a reason not to have like diverse characters in their games.
Promoting already existing
I want to say that's what
games on the
and
Nintendo
I mean I would
Store,
feel some type of way about it. But what am I gonna do? Like,
there was nothing like
boycott a game I never planned on fucking buying in the first place.
Nothing like that is existing.
It's a medieval game.
However, again,
there are no fantasy characters. Like, there's nothing cool to be done in it.
Again, like,
you're just wearing like Ren Fair LARP bullshit.
But
and
for
fighting
us,
people,
actually,
and I'm not excited
as
about
I said,
that. And if I was excited about it, I just go get Chivalry 2.
For us, we started to think. There's a lot of interest. There's a lot of buzz. People are actually talking about us, reaching out to us. Like, they seem to want Kingdom Come Deliverance on the Nintendo Switch. So we started to think. And since we are already in the Koch Media family, or the Embracer family, and there's a lot of talented studios, so is Saber Interactive. And who but them would be actually capable of bringing the Kingdom Come Deliverance version on the Switch? So we sat together, and now we are here talking about
the
your
first announcement
Kingdom Come.
Was not an announcement. It was just to talk.
Is that a community of gamers?
The second announcement, also not an announcement.
Less,
it was just to
the
talk
community
somebody.
feedback we got.
And
of
your
course,
third
was a big
announcement
drive for this entire project
is a Switch port.
This comes from our general background. So think of the Kickstarter project we had in the day. So without the community, there wouldn't be any Warhorse Studios or any Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Seriously.
So we always try to be very
Nordic,
close to them,
Embracer,
working
Saber, whatever you want to call them,
and even coming up
with
like crazy ideas together with them.
Studios,
so,
like,
for instance,
all jokes aside, they do have dozens of studios.
Liquor, we created
Nothing
later,
was ready.
Came,
you couldn't show
was
anything with some actual gameplay.
This
was the plan.
We recently released
a
blue brick set, like a building set for Kingdom Come Deliverance buildings. And now one of the latest projects is the Kingdom Come Deliverance soap bar, which should give you the real medieval smell. In that case, I must say medieval smells actually pretty well. And we are coming up with crazy stuff like that.
Yeah, I know, right? They got soap.
Next new merchandise project is
you should have washed the mouth out. You should have used that soap to wash out any thoughts of putting on a show like this. That's what you should have done.
Kingdom Come Deliverance minigame, the dice minigame you can play in the game. And now with Griffon Studios, we are coming up with a boxed version you can get and play Farkle at home against your friends or against your family or whatever. So that's pretty cool if you ask me. But generally, if you're interested in these kind of stuff, just check the Warhorse Studios social media accounts. You get all the information you need there.
Ooh, my favorite. Soapy hot news. Speaking of soapy hot news, how do you feel about Warhorse being under the new label Prime Matter?
It's a huge honor, of course. We were working together with Koch for over 4 years already. In 2019, we then even became part of the Embracer family. So
goddammit,
that was a big thing.
Somebody gonna have to pronounce this the right way.
To take part at the beginning of something new, be there
Coke
when there's a new.
Is the way I thought it was pronounced.
That is a
somebody
big
else
thing for
said
us,
Koch.
and especially
this
if
man,
you consider
I
that
swear
we come there as an established
and I mean, like, I got questions
already. That
but
is really
we're gonna
cool,
leave that
and
alone. I'm gonna
looking
keep my mind out of the gutter. This is
Thank you very much, Toby.
I'm trying to be professional.
We cannot see what Warhorse has got cooking. However, until that time, Toby, goodbye.
So are we. Thank you very much, and see you.
From internet rumors back to reality, we will have more on Kingdom Come Deliverance for Switch as we get it.
All right, let's move from RPGs to FPS games. Final Form, which is a working title, is an action-packed sci-fi adventure where you play the role of a humanoid avatar of a sentient spaceship sent on a mission to the edge of the known universe to battle an unstoppable plague. The game is still a long ways from completion, but here's a very quick peek at what's in store.
Give me something. Anything. Please. I'll take it. As long as it ain't that Valorant shit they did the other day. Oh, I saw this clip. I wish I hadn't. But it's still better than nothing.
Hi, we are Raycon Games, and what you have just seen is the first glimpse of our upcoming game called the Final Form.
Final Form is an action-packed, epic sci-fi FPS in which you are a female-formed humanoid machine on a space mission with no return.
At the heart of the game is a mystery and alien wars to explore, but also an adrenaline-fueled combat.
Possible?
In Final Form, it's all about the freedom and power of movement, being a machine unrestrained by human weaknesses. There are numerous abilities and gadgets that come with your robotic body, so you can give yourself away to the fantasy of becoming an unstoppable cybernetic goddess blazing away in a spectacular ballet of destruction.
That'll be enough.
Raycon is located in Warsaw, Poland, with additional team members located all over the world. The studio was founded and is managed entirely by game developers. Since the success of Ruiner, we've grown quite substantially.
I'm not even
Currently,
asking for a tie.
Raycon is over 50 brilliant game creators, and counting.
But nah.
We are not a huge team, but what we love to do is to evolve together with our projects, constantly finding smarter and better ways to achieve something truly unique. We build our work environment just like we make games, aiming for the best results and personal fulfillment. We strongly believe that the well-being of team members needs to be taken care of first, before we can pour all of that love into a game. The partnership with Koch Media has been very fruitful and inspiring. We're happy to be in the avant-garde of the upcoming new label. We're looking forward to share more on Final Form in the future. And in the meantime, please enjoy the rest of the show and see you around.
That was still better than the other 3 games they showed.
I have to say, guys, I love the soundtrack from Final Form. Moving on to our next game, which is just as special. What if you took Lovecraftian and Gagaris themes and mixed it all together with hardcore RPG elements? That's exactly what Massive Works Studios are doing. I got to sit down with their CTO to talk about their game, Dolmen.
I was gonna say, no more talk. Like, you gotta put something on the screen. I think I'm Lovecrafted out. Yeah, that became like you can get tired of anything. I don't care what it is, even if you like it. And Lovecraft definitely is one of those things that they just won't stop shoving down your throat. Hey, are you creeped out enough? Have you seen enough Mad Gods? No? Yeah, you have? But we still have more for you. I guess. This is sufficiently creepy. Give them that.
Speak now to Gabriel Ferreira, CTO of Massive Works Studios, who joins us now from Campinas near São Paulo in the southeast of Brazil.
This is still better than those
Gabriel,
other interviews.
What is Dolmen about?
I'll explain why.
First of all, it's a pleasure to be here and to participate. Well, so let me tell a little bit about what Dolmen is. Dolmen is that kind of a game where the hero needs to save everyone from an alien threat. Fighting with all kinds of monsters and struggling to keep going forward. Yeah, that's the kind of game that Dolmen is not about. In this game, you actually save the drillers, which is the alien species that live on that planet, but you're going there to help a company save its investment. So you're not really the nice guy that's trying to save everyone. It's just a job. But we hope that the players consider the humanity, the greed, the war, and the spares and the challenges that come to mind along with that job. Taking all that part, and yes, Dolmen is also about fighting all kinds of monsters and struggling. After all, it is a hard game. It's a hardcore game. It's inspired on Souls-like, so yes, you're going to die a lot.
Awesome, thank you. So when thinking about the name Dolmen, obviously you guys went for that for like a very specific reason. What's the thinking behind the name? Why did you go for Dolmen?
So there was many things that came to our mind when describing the name of the game. Dolmen, which means a single chamber tomb, a megalithic tomb. We thought it would be a good word to describe this stone, this crystal that we have that is
when
related.
When you first show off a game,
in many ways, everyone that deals with this crystal in the game is close to bringing problems to everyone that is around. And we wanted this to be the main piece.
Here's what our game is about. Here's some of the logic behind it.
And now I know that people may or may not have heard of Dolmen before, so it is already out there in the world. But how long has it taken to get to this point?
Oh, it's been a long journey since the beginning of the project. We started at late 2016, so it's been almost 5 years now, and probably just a bit more till it come out. But we and about our journey, if it wasn't the support that we had since the beginning, either our community, the Kickstarters, and you guys, I believe we would not be here right now.
Lovely. How have you been inspired by other games? You mentioned like the Souls-like obviously inspires it. You know, are there other games that inspire you? And also, what games do the teams like?
First of all, regarding inspirations, a lot of games came to us when we were producing the game and when we were first thinking of it. Obviously, we are really passionate and we really love Souls-like games, so Bloodborne, Dark Souls, those games were our main inspirations.
All right, I can't help myself. I gotta say something.
We drew inspirations from all different kind of sources. So we had inspirations in Dead Space.
It's not that it's a bad thing to make games like this,
and also,
but it's just so fascinating to see people trash like Ubisoft, like open world games, or to trash something like
stories,
the endless first-person shooters,
for example.
And then the only thing they want to play is Dark Souls and Soulsborne, something that's it's difficult and challenging, and you're gonna die a lot. Those are his words, not mine. There has to be something more. When you have the freedom that you have, but they just chose to go with whatever satisfies the fan base right now. They're not choosing. They're choosing to give the fan base what they want rather than what they need. And the fans, they don't know what they need. Like, they like Soulsborne and Dark Souls games now, but if something good comes out along another line, like, they'll like that too. They'll fall in love with that. They don't know what they want until they're given it. So like, and I'm not saying to disregard the fans. I'm not saying that what they want is irrelevant. But I am saying that there's at a certain level, you can only give them like. At a certain level, they're just gonna ask you for a better version of what they've already played. Hell, I do that a lot. But you've got to at least put out a unique enough vision and then believe in that vision. But this feels very similar to a lot of games that we've already seen, and a lot of games that we're going to see continually. Like, and then here's the other big problem.
Something that we could use.
Even though I'm not a big fan, I know enough about the gaming industry to be able to make this statement pretty confidently. The king is back. FromSoft is back. They're back, and they're making the big Soulsborne type game. And you're gonna get lost in the shuffle unless you have something very unique about your franchise that helps you stand out. Unless it's just people. Unless you're only aiming for people who, oh yeah, I'm all about playing Soulsborne games, and I don't play anything else.
Specific challenges that you face.
If that's what you're looking for, which is, it seems like it would be a very small audience, but hey, whatever turns a profit for you, and whatever you're looking to go for it. But I don't know. Like, I wonder about the appeal, the wide appeal of a game like this. So we'll see.
2020 and 2021.
The Soulsborne genre seems fairly big now. It's huge.
But it
like
was
you,
something
like
that
you
we
brought it
could
up
adapt
yourself the other
well,
day. Like when you
especially
talk about like
because
2D Soulsborne,
even that
it's
we're based
everywhere.
in
There are
Brazil,
2D
we're not
versions,
only based in a
retro,
single location in
modern
Brazil. We have
3D,
people, spread
beautiful
across the
graphics,
country. So
intentionally,
it was
you know, I won't say
not
bad, but
easy
like
enough to
I
overcome
guess
that
retro
challenge.
graphics or whatever, like
But
whatever
there
kind of
were
version you
several
want, they
challenges
got it out there for
since,
you already.
getting development
And they're like,
kits,
yep, here goes another one. And I'm like,
finding
slow your roll, Doc. You don't know, like
people that are
sports
really
games and
capable
COD
of
games,
helping us
and
to
those
deliver
games have something
this
going for them,
amazing
which
game,
is
and that's what
they have that
we
lineage,
gather,
like
and
years
that's
of
something that our
fans,
company,
and those fans aren't going anywhere. The longer that
appreciates
franchise, the
most
longer
and
those
gives
things
value
last,
is
the less likely you have to worry about where are those fans going anywhere. I mean, if they haven't gone anywhere in 15 years, they're not going anywhere now. This, on the other hand,
that's really
it's
cool.
fairly new.
Kind of on that.
And the idea of
theme
you just being so
development
confident
and
that, oh, well, they're not
challenges,
going anywhere, like,
given how
somebody's going to
development and
lose.
technology often
Unless it
dictates
turns
how a
into its
game
own
evolves throughout its development,
proper thing.
how
Eventually,
close are
you
you
can
to
hit a
the
wall.
original concept that you guys came up for Dolmen?
Well, there are different point of views on that answer.
Setting all of that,
especially
what I just said
because
aside,
we started really
this
small.
could have been
In the
30
journey of the
minutes.
game, for example, it started
These
as a
interviews are
concept
too
from
long.
a few friends
clips
that
are
get
too
together
short.
and they
And you could have condensed
brainstorm
this down to
for
30 minutes.
months the game.
I'm going to take another chance and let's see what pops off.
It diverged in two senses. And one of them, when we first thought of the game is huge and is insane and has a lot of
all
background
of these
on
sleeping
it.
emojis
It has all this universe around it. So a lot of it has been built. So people that loves lore and loves the universe that we are creating, they will have a lot to explore on that side. But the game and from its original concept evolved a lot, especially now that we have more tools at our disposal. So on the tech side, it advanced way better than we imagined. Back 2016, we didn't have all the resources that we have now. So of course, we made some sacrifices here and there, and in order to achieve our goal, but we were never happy with satisfied that point of satisfaction. You know, we want to reach more. At the end of the day, this is also a game, and we are having fun. But
I wish I was
on top of all, we want to make a brilliant game for the player.
Absolutely. And speaking about like making the game and the development of the game, seeing as you are lead programmer as well, what was the hardest part of making the actual game?
I believe that we could have gone into
I've been watching E3
different options, especially for example, we could have wanted to make a game that was simpler or smaller or not have that many hours of gameplay.
Most of the time,
but we decided to go to a hard
right? Like
game,
even if it's a bunch
even
of
as
games,
a
I'm not
first game of our company. So we
I'm not
decided
interested
to
in a lot of
full
games.
into that challenge.
I'm picky.
We faced a lot of challenges.
My stream title is I play open world games. I play JRPGs.
I believe the hardest part of the game was
and then occasionally I'll play something.
Professionals.
I play card games, and then occasionally you'll see me play something that you don't expect.
On what
something
we were
like
doing and
Power Wash Simulator, or something. Every now and again, something will stand out in a way that connects to interests I have outside of games. I'll give it a shot,
right now.
But I'm overall.
So it
I have
was
a very narrow
decision,
what I'm interested
but we wanted
Still,
to make that.
I can watch a conference and be like, I'm into it. Like as long
regarding
as
programming,
I talk about this
and as
all the time when you see me do these streams.
There's a lot of that I could keep talking and
I think
about.
The worst time
what is the hardest
I've ever had
is always
with respect
challenging.
to pacing was I want to say E3 2015, where they sat us down and had us look at
so the game
an interview with Pele.
It's not unfair
for FIFA,
but
and the interview lasted I want to say either somewhere like 5 to 10 minutes.
So we wanted to
it
aim
just
hard
felt
for
like
players. So this was
and
really
I've never felt
that,
anything quite
hard.
so bad.
So you mentioned like
until today,
5 years of
today
development,
is when
which
I was
is a
like,
crazy
I
long
can't,
time.
like,
how
I'm looking at the
kept
clock
yourself
tick by, and
motivated?
I'm like,
how have the team kept themselves
wrap this up.
motivated?
I won't say
How long
it
has this
was
gone
easy because it wasn't. but
Don't
I
you
would say
have
that
12
most of all, we
games?
were always having this
Haven't we only
these
shown
meetings
4?
in order to play the game. Even now that
Why?
we are remote, we keep getting up every day and making
Ain't nobody
meeting
this
and
interested,
showcasing
bro. Like,
what
what is
we are
the...
doing and working alongside each one of us. Also, a lot of things that happened before COVID was the events. The events always made us super happy. So showcasing the game to everyone and getting the players to play the game and see how they react, it was something incredible for us. It really made us feel proud of what we were doing.
This is like when
yeah, absolutely. I feel like everyone's missing that event feeling, right? When you actually get to see people on the games and you're like, oh wow,
I remember that.
Everyone's loving
and
our
I'll tell you why
games.
that's a
it's
little
something
different.
That everyone
it's
is,
the
is
same,
missing,
but it's different.
Definitely.
Because
Speaking of
Smash
kind of
is a
motivation
game that people
and
love.
happy times,
And
what are you
some
most
people
proud
are
of
that
this game? What you
engaged
guys
into
worked on that
Smash
you're
where
like,
they can spend
we
30
did
minutes
that.
listening to like
the universe,
the subtle
the
differences for every character. And I remember seeing part of that direct, and it would talk about like how when you have the character like this, it does a move this way, and if you have the character this way, it does a completely different move. That's the same but looks different. It has a different effect. Alright, cool. Like there are fighting game fans and Smash fans that are that engaged with that franchise, that IP, that they want to know all of that stuff. And they'll sit there and talk about it and debate about that for months afterwards.
Proud. And
no one knows who these people are. There is no connection. And it's just him sitting here.
Expand that universe.
And like what? This isn't even one of the more interesting games that they showed off. I want to see Echoes of the End. I really wanted to see that.
That is something.
And there was another game I can't remember. I would love to just
Speaking
see
of partnership
a regular
with us,
trailer.
what are the benefits of signing up with a global publisher like Koch on
Whose
their brand
idea?
new label?
Again,
that's really that's really an amazing feeling for us.
Whose idea was
Koch
this?
really helped us and takes care of the operation that we couldn't make it for ourselves.
If I had a chair that spun, I would
They have
spin it.
an amazing team of QA localization, so we can reach different countries and players everywhere. We have a great producer that worked with us, helping us reach our goals and really deliver the game that we want. And without Koch opened the doors for us on that sense.
Fair enough, man.
And being part of this new label is
like
a great opportunity for us. And also to know other game developers and expand the game community. And and to meet you as well. We really thank you for this opportunity.
Absolutely. We are so happy to have you guys on board. And more importantly, I am so excited to actually let people play this game at some point under this new label. So thank you so much for your time, Gabrielle. It's been awesome talking to you. And let's release Dolmen at some point under the new label. Thank you for your time and see you later.
I just realized none of these have release dates.
Now, the first title from Prime Matter will be the beautiful, highly anticipated King's Bounty 2.
Thank you.
We have a first look at the gameplay trailer, and then Opal got a chance to sit down and talk with CEO Nikolai Baryshnikov.
Oh, come on, give me a new trailer.
Is off.
Man, they really keeping this game close.
Our land, Nostria, dances on the knife's edge of fate. King Claudius, my father, cannot lead, and his absence has set the realm in motion. Something is coming. Now the burden of the crown falls onto me. Nostria was flourishing, but there is unrest.
It used to be beautiful here. My wife and I had a nice life then.
Conspiracy,
I want to say this game
sabotage,
is third person,
necromancy.
over the shoulder.
They all threaten this land asunder. But we must unite, for distorted terrors are advancing.
It allows you to develop a connection.
Rumors tell of a false prophet, putting our hope in something
it allows you to
that
develop
does
that
not
while also
exist.
having ability to go.
A seer foretells that our savior is among us. People of Nostria, you laid faith in my father. Do so to me. We must look towards the horizon, fight back the darkness, and preserve the light of our land. For Nostria!
I'm not gonna lie, this is definitely one of the games I'm more excited to play. This and Tales of Arise, I'm super excited.
Hello there, guys! Thanks for joining me, and I am joined by Nikolai Barinshtakov from 1C Entertainment, who is CEO and creator of King's Bounty 2. So King's Bounty has been years in development and has a 30-year pedigree. So what is it that makes King's Bounty 2 so special?
The original King's Bounty was a grandfather of games of series like Heroes of Might and Magic. So it created these turn-based gameplay when you have a hex-based battlefield and the troops are moving in turns, like chess pieces on the board. So I think that's the key. The cornerstone of King's Bounty.
Absolutely, and kind of speaking about that, and I know as you mentioned, the first King's Bounties was 1990, and then you had the King's Bounty that you guys created in the 2000s. What technical improvements, now that we're in 2021, are you most excited about implementing into the new King's Bounty 2?
Well, I'm a huge fan of the core aspect of the game with tactical battles. And if in the previous games the battlefield was always a flat surface, so now we're bringing the battlefield into 3D. So we will have line of sights, hills. Like simple example, if your archers are located on the hill, they will do like extra damage for the high ground, etc. So moving the battlefield to 3D is a huge step forward. And then the whole role-playing part, the exploration part, we decided to move more towards games like Fable or Mass Effect, epic, big role-playing games, as opposed to have a top-down isometric view of tiny little character on a horse just galloping around the map. So we are moving towards this kind of epic fantasy adventure. Because this is not like a small indie title anymore. This is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, production we've done in Moscow so far.
So speaking of the other King's Bounty games, will this King's Bounty 2 follow the other stories of the games, or will it be a standalone title?
No, the game will not follow on any previous games. But even the previous King's Bounty, they were all sort of like disconnected. There was like the main protagonist, there are a bunch of evil guys. There's like a small quest, and I would say that a previous King's Bounty, it was not like an epic RPG adventure. So the game was more about just battling random monsters on the map and solving some little quests. And then King's Bounty 2 is really a epic adventure. We had spent like dozens of hours solving puzzles, working with different factions, making decisions that change the character and the world. So we're really moving much more towards an epic RPG. However, this is a rare combination where our game, King's Bounty, is not an action RPG. It's not a Witcher game where you have to quickly press buttons on your joysticks and battle enemies in the field. It's interesting crossbreed of a high fantasy role-playing game with a tactical strategy title, which I wouldn't. It's not like quote unquote was never done on console, but this is fairly unique combination for the console. And for me, like a great inspiration was a modern remake of XCOM, for example, because I was a huge fan of XCOM that was released in 1994, 1996. And the modern console reinventing of XCOM, this is something we're trying to achieve with King's Bounty, really make a modern game that works well on modern platforms, that works well with current understanding of gamers, how a game should look like. So we're trying to enhance it in every possible direction.
Yeah, cool, awesome. Kind of speaking about the story of King's Bounty 2 and how it differs, it appears to have a darker, more gritty aesthetic compared to its predecessors. What was the design philosophy around that? Why did you decide to go with that instead?
That's a interesting question. We've been debating on the design approach. And again, as I said, we spend a lot of time prototyping, working on the core gameplay and the looks and the art of the game. Previous game had this more cartoonish, kind of fancy indie look, but we decided we are now trying to play in different league. We're trying to make a much bigger title, a big game, an epic adventure. We've been, astonished by
how many times
modern
fit the term
fantasy
epic into a
titles
single
both
interview?
in Hollywood and
you're not
in games. And we thought this is a good idea actually to upgrade King's Bounty to what we call like high fantasy or like realistic fantasy. So it's not a dark fantasy like Kingdom Come when they're like dirty peasants, everything is bad. No, it's more like, as I said, like high fantasy.
I'm not gonna lie. The fact that this is high fantasy has me like so invested.
He or she looks like a real bad person. So that was the main philosophy. Plus, game development evolves, and I don't think that it's a good idea to take a game of 2008 and just make a replica with slightly enhanced graphics in 2021. So you need, especially for consoles, there's a specific expectation from somebody coming to the store or buying the game digitally or online. Okay, this is like a 49.59 game. It has to look graphically and gameplay-wise like this. There's an expectation, and we believe that that's what we have to do.
Yeah, so we've mentioned that this game combines different kind of like ways that you can play the game, basically, from third-person RPG elements to this unique fighting system, this kind of chess-like fighting system. Kind of, why did you choose, with the evolution of game design and how people play games, why did you choose to stick to these hybrid game mechanics? Do you think that this is kind of what makes King's Bounty?
Absolutely. I think you got it spot on, so I don't even need to answer. King's Bounty is again, is a grandfather of turn-based games. So if you remove tactical combat from King's Bounty, then it becomes, I don't know, Mass Effect or Kingdom Come. So this is so we can play around with
Kingdom Come.
Evolution of this gameplay, make it more fun or realistic, but obviously this is the core. So this is
I feel like this is the wave of the future.
Role playing
like
aspects,
even when you look at Larry and
not the other way around.
There is very much the option to do an over-the-shoulder camera
gamers
and like cinematic
RPG
cutscenes,
shooting elements.
and then you go back to
like Cyberpunk.
the isometric turn-based
probably
thing for the combat.
not for them. I'm sorry, just it's a different game.
Yeah, and in terms of we've mentioned kind of this new 3D world that you're creating when it comes to the fighting style, and then these RPG mechanics and making this world feel more alive and more exciting. What was actually the hardest part of you making the game? What took the longest time? What kind of caused you the most headaches?
Hard to say. First of all, this is multiple platform game, so there are specific technical issues that prolong the development. If you make just, let's say, a PC title or just a PlayStation game, then you are not having a headache of porting to different platforms, getting different specifications, TCRs, approvals. So that adds a lot. And then secondly, the production itself. As soon as we went away from this kind of cartoonish, easy-looking isometric view into a 3D high fantasy and the production of assets. So we wanted to build like a huge map. We wanted to populate this map with a lot of characters that would just move around, go somewhere, have their own like stories. Then we decided to, instead of having like text dialogues, we decided to produce a lot of engine-based cutscenes to push the story, to explain what's going on.
To run an hour,
so we even had to buy our motion capture studio. We worked with like dozens of actors, and there are hours and hours and hours of in-game based cutscenes, which in the past could be just dialogues and pieces of text. That was another huge complication.
No, absolutely. And then the final question, what are the benefits of signing up with a global publisher like Koch and being on their brand new gaming label?
Oh, that provides us a lot of additional support because.
Is this an interview?
I'm not sure that all
not
games
like an interview
how
like
games
an interview for the
get to
fans,
the market.
like a
So
job.
making
Why
a
would you
game,
want to work with
writing a
a
piece of
developer,
code,
publisher,
or
like
drawing this amazing
what?
sketch of a dragon.
I don't care.
Is only
The fans don't
half
care.
of the puzzle. So it's like yin yang. You need a lot of support. From production people, testing, localization, manufacturing retail units, putting all this, units into the retail shops in the world, making mass market communications. So we decided to cooperate with Koch Media seemed to be the ideal partner. So we're on the market for many years.
I don't think I'm gonna have time to do the little post show thing.
I would say,
and I'll get
very
into
honestly,
it
I was personally scared if we do it just
right now, I don't
ourselves,
think I'm gonna have time.
that we might not
so let's
have
talk a little bit about
human resources
this
to
is by
deliver
far going to be the worst
the information about the game itself,
summer of gaming or E3 or whatever you want to call it.
platform
This is by far going to be the
as
worst
effectively
conference.
as in a
Pretty much
co-production and co-publishing
by
with
default,
such
right?
esteemed partners.
And I'm going to take that a step further.
Yeah. Awesome. Well,
If
that's
there's
it.
a
Thank you so
conference
much for your time, Nikolai.
worse than
And I
this-
cannot wait for people to get their hands on King's
I'm going
Bounty.
to shut the stream off.
Oh, me too. Trust me, me too. After 2 years of development, that's
I'm streaming.
exciting.
I'm not going to
exciting
stop
news for
streaming.
2021.
But I will
We
stop
have
streaming that whatever conference it is. If there's a more
keep
boring
saying-
conference than this,
And honestly,
we're just
I
going to
shouldn't
start playing
have a
video
favorite.
games.
It's like picking between
I'm not
going
to
to
sit here and
However,
like you.
this next
I don't know how you
conference
could make
speaks
things
to
more
me
boring
on a
than this,
gaming
but if
level,
you found a way,
unlike any
I'm out.
other.
Sorry.
This
This is nuts.
third-person action-adventure shooter will keep you up at night, tossing and turning with its horrific, nightmarish creatures. Think Alice in Wonderland.
I don't
meets
actually like
Alien,
horror at all.
Or as one US
But right now,
journalist put
anything
it,
to keep me up is a good
Tomb
thing.
standing.
So
Guys, sit back, relax, grab a pillow, because you get a world exclusive
the last thing you
look
need to be telling people
at
is to grab a
Starfield.
pillow.
Good job. Dr. Ward.
That's not the move right now.
Get to the bridge,
Grab a
please.
pillow. Shit, they
Time
already
to see
sleep.
what's inside our alien guest.
Whoa.
Telemetry check.
Telemetry check. Here go.
Are you trapped on the ship? Nope. Okay, okay. I see you.
Wow. How is this possible? What planet is this? How did I end up here? Log entry. The gate has an internal conduction system. The 3 points on the rim seem sensitive. A targeted blast of electricity should cause a reaction.
The sad thing about this is everyone for years has been
The debris.
decrying
It's from
the
Hermes.
loss of the
It
AA
must have
game,
splintered off
and this
as it
very
entered
much
the
looks
atmosphere.
like the return of the AA game. And this could have been a showcase for that, but instead they decided to waste everyone's time with interview after interview after interview. I don't know whose idea that was, but it was a bad
It's still intact.
because this actually looks kind of cool. You know, once these pop up, I don't know. Ew. The mouse and keyboard problem.
What was that?
Gross.
Log entry. The creature has multiple salivary glands in its thoracic region that seem to produce a highly venomous secretion. Wow. The whole place is covered with some kind of organic residue. Looks like Robinson managed to connect the MPU to the pillar. This will help me get through that tissue webbing. And I'm taking the MPU.
This would look like an amazing game if Return of Back didn't come out. And it wasn't as well received as it was. Comparatively, it looks just kind of slow and graphically.
Who were the architects of this
we're
place?
not even gonna talk about that.
Did they
but
build
it still
these
looks like
towering monuments to serve a purpose, or as a testament to their might? Were they looking for answers or solving a problem?
The problem isn't the game. Like, the game seems like it's modeling what it is. The problem is that the comparison to Return is unavoidable. But this game doesn't look like it's coming out this year, so it'll be fine. Oh no. Good, get out of the way. Do I see a stamina bar? No.
This thing was huge.
I just know you're gonna fight something really horrifying at some point. Thus far, it's been like creepy or like just generic monsters, but like nothing terrifying. Definitely none of that. So if you go up at night fighting, like none of that. I feel like that other enemy will find
The appendages are dripping with the fluid that's freezing the water.
Gross.
There's the brain, the neural pathways leading to various organs. The pseudocerebrum seems to be generating an electrical charge. This neural pathway is conducting large amounts of bioelectricity. This gland is secreting the cryogenic fluid that's freezing the water. The cocktail of digestive acids is dissolving local plant life into homogeneous matter. The process seems to be aided by bioelectricity.
You know, this is actually kind of cool, but it slowed the gameplay down in a way that is detrimental to the process as a whole because of like, this is how bad the process is for the most part. Dead.
That really was something, and last week Opal had a chance to talk to the developers, Mad Head Games, and ask them what their game was all about.
Hello there guys, joining me now from Novi Sad in Serbia is Ivan Zorkic, game director at Mad Head Games, who's going to tell us all about his new project. So Ivan, what's Scars Above all about?
Hey there. Scars Above, an alien object appears near Earth, and a team of astronauts is sent to explore it to do a close-range scan. However, for some reason that I don't want to go into now, this results in them in an event which causes them to be transported to an unknown alien planet. So our protagonist, Kate Ward, who is a mission specialist, she's an astrobiologist with a background in engineering. She's one of the members of the team of astronauts, of the team called SCAR team, which is Sentient Contact Assessment and Response. So she is on the ship doing the scan, and she ends up on this stranded on this alien planet. So one moment she's with her team in the ship, and the other moment she's on this strange planet alone.
I'm sorry, guys. So here's
she
what's gonna
explores.
happen.
She.
I might come back to look at the rest of this. In fact, we might just Gematsu it up. That's what we might have to do. Like, that may be the only option, because this right here is just disgusting. All right, let's go back a few minutes, I suppose.
One notable area where it adds to Valve's tried and true blueprint is a class and progression system that lets you specialize in certain areas like gun damage, or even if you have to requeue multiple times. Splitgate's portal guns turn what would have been a forgettable arena shooter into one of the smartest in years. It's let down by its drab maps that repeat too often in the first hours, and its current lack of players can make it hard to find an evenly matched game if you haven't brought your own teams. But it's fun, aren't just, and for other multi IGN.
We'll be a few minutes behind because we did start late. I really thought Koch Media would like wrap their shit the fuck up within an hour. There was no reason for that to run longer than an hour. None.
Gameplay and reveals, 2 exciting first looks at the hottest new games and in-depth developer interviews.
It's going to be awesome across the board.
IGN Summer of Gaming has it all. This year, we've condensed a metric ton of fresh trailers and never-before-seen gameplay into one sleek package. It's IGN Expo, and you're about to attend. Don't worry, there's no ticket price, barring whatever you're already paying for your internet connection. This is our special corner of the summer, and our chance to show off all the unique games that make up the greater gaming cosmos. So buckle in, because here come more games than you can shake a joystick at. IGN Expo starts now.
That's a little corny, but I'll take it. I'll take anything over this. Over the... oh my gosh. Let's go. I forgot about this game. They showed it off last year, right? And they had like a little demo. People seem to like it pretty well. I was terrified they were going to talk to the developers. Like, let's not do no more of that. Let's skip all of that. All of that. Let's catch back up.
E3 2021 coverage, and this right now, this thing, IGN Expo.
Maybe we all want games, but first, just a teaser. You just got to look at the brand new Mortal Shell, the Virtuous Cycle announcements.
Go easy on you at first.
Creepy?
I got this.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
That's a knockdown. There is no tomorrow.
Much like real boxing, the best way to get people interested in boxing is like some kind of celebrity shit. Like a video game. I'm interested in this just because like I love the Rocky franchise. Who is that? Who's the dude with the beard?
A single hit.
I feel like this was announced last conference, but it still looks great. And it looked like it might actually be fun. Oh, the Sherlock game. I was interested in this. Like, I don't know how much I'd like to play it, but it did look fun.
Indicates that the victim is left-handed. However, the bullet entered the right temple. That's strange. The goodbye letter was written while the victim's glasses were left untouched upon the nightstand. Who would want their final words to appear crooked? Traces of a long dress. Is a crime disguised as suicide. The maid? No. I have it. They belong to the priest who wanted to retain ownership of the land for his presbytery. The first case on this island is closed.
That's incredible, Sherlock. You always impress me.
I feel like they've yet to show like a concrete gameplay trailer for this game. It's always this.
Well, did you really think that you could come to this island without getting a little dirty? That investigation was easy, but this personal mission that brought you here, you know it's nothing but pain and madness. I know it's not so far from what's already in your mind.
Artsy, I like it.
But once the truth is revealed, will it help? Watch your step, Sherlock. This quest might soil more than your shoes. You're not ready for this investigation.
A lot more emotion than I'm used to from Sherlock Holmes, but still. I'm always skeptical of games that are like coming in this year and it's like halfway through the year. Like, are you? You shouldn't. Like, you don't have a release date yet. Not down with all the wacky graphics, but I just like yeah. Oh no! That was legit. I dig it. Oh boy. Back to the horror games. Hey! Enter the #1 psychological horror experience. Are y'all gonna school dates me? Somebody randomly get murdered out the blue? Okay, okay.
Woo, man, I gotta tell y'all what a block of awesome that was.
Watson to solve crimes and such and hold hands. But let's keep this train going by tossing it to the developers over at Gearbox for a breakdown of the Wonderlands trailer. This new game is set in the Borderlands universe and inspired by Tiny Tina's tabletop adventures. Let's take a look at Wonderlands.
Roll for initiative, suckers!
Hey everybody, my name is Matt Cox and I'm the creative director of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and I'm thrilled to be able to go through this trailer with you today. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is an entirely new adventure set in an unpredictable fantasy world that's full of whimsy and wonder and high-powered weapons. Packed with fresh gameplay ideas, irreverent humor, a crazy story-driven adventure, and repeatable endgame content that you can enjoy with friends in co-op up to 4 players.
You cannot hide from fate.
So on your quest to defeat our main villain, the Dragon Lord, you're going to fight a variety of monsters, from shambling skeletons to, like this, sharks with legs. So designing for this chaotic brand of fantasy lets us run wild with our imagination. So you can expect some slightly warped takes on high fantasy. The awesome game crew that voices the mysterious figure that you hear in this trailer. Now, he's not the protagonist. Players can actually create and customize their own multi-class heroes in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Players won't literally customize their weapons, but you will collect a wide variety of loot and a wide variety of rarities. So you have guns, spells, melee weapons, and of course you'll have your skills that you can use, and then you'll be able to find loot like armor and amulets and more. Spells are a big part of our combat loop, and while it's true we do not have grenades in this game, we actually like to think of our spells more as mini skills because of their power and their variety of behaviors. Our cast is incredible. We have the headstrong Captain Valentine, the rule-obsessed robot Fret, and of course our tyrant villain Dragon Lord, and Tiny Tina, and they're all brought to life by these great actors. And of course, enter a magical diamond binacorn leaping in to save the day here. This speaks to the wild and irreverent humor in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Now, all of this takes place in a game within a game as players experience a round of bunkers and badasses, a chaotic fantasy tabletop adventure where anything can happen. The very unpredictable Tiny Tina makes the rules, she changes the world on the fly, and guides players on their epic fantasy journey. Now, a lot of the tone and humor in this story springs from this chaos. This takes place shortly after Assault on Dragon Keep, but if you don't know what that means, that's okay, because this is a brand new adventure in a brand new world in the mind of Tiny Tina, playing bunkers and badasses. We absolutely love Tina and the crazy world that we're creating, and it's been an absolute joy working on this game. So we're very excited for everyone to share in this experience when it launches next year.
This is a good way to start the year off. Like, it's a title that's definitely going to be a hit because the
I think it should go without saying that Wonderlands looks wonderful. There, I said it, and I don't care who hears me say something so brave yet so controversial. Anyway, we've got more gaming goodness coming up on the IGN Expo when Summer of Gaming 2021 returns, so don't go anywhere. Don't.
Going somewhere. I'm skipping ahead.
From breaking news and exclusives, never-before-seen looks at movies and games, to reviews, let's plays, and live streams, IGN brings you all the coverage you need, no matter where you are. Whether you're on IGN.com, the IGN app, YouTube, Facebook...
Stop selling me crap. Let's get to it.
We're going to catch the Fix Entertainment on IGN for your fix of entertainment news. Let's drop it.
Looking like we're caught up.
Welcome back to IGN Summer of Gaming Expo. I'm glad you stuck around and I didn't have to use these scissors. Time to get rid of them.
Give me that, man. You don't need those. Give them to me. What are you doing? Please.
Anyway, let's check out some more trailers. Any guess on what we might see now, Akeem?
Well, you know what, Brian? I'm going to go out on a limb here and say exclusive gameplay trailers with a dash, just a dash of DLC. I want to see some DLC.
Wild guess. Well, let's DLC what we got.
Ooh.
That was terrible.
It hurt me. It hurt me to say
But I'll take it.
Okay?
I'll take it.
Physically hurt to say that joke. Physically. I need the scissors back.
Hey, seafood. Let's go. This is like one of the most interesting games I've seen this year as far as like new games. It looks so cool. And the concept behind it of like, even if you lose, even if you die, you come back to life, you're just a little older. Absolver had such a cool like battle system. The problem was it just looked so boring to play. This does not have that problem. If it plays like it looks right now, oh man, I don't want to see no coming soon. I want to see it coming now. Lego? I would love to say we got to get back to Red Dead Redemption, but I actually had to delete it to make room for Phantasy Star Online New Genesis. So that's coming probably tonight, I believe. Depends. I got work to hang. I got work to take care of after I get off the stream. For sure, we can get done with everything. I'm gonna hop on and do Genshin Impact and Phantasy Star Online. This is still pretty cool though, like, and it looks like a real Lego game. I mean, it looks like real Lego sets. How they build Lego sets? I am so confused. Wild West Dynasty. I still don't know what that was.
I know what you're thinking. Who is that gorgeous amphibian, and how can I be as successful as him? Well, I'll tell you, kiddo. You gotta come to Radlandia, the place of opportunity, where even the ice cream's dreams of hitting the big time.
Yeah.
You see these guys? They've got that go-getting attitude, making it happen in the streets. And oh, the streets, kid! Forget paved with gold. Here, there's nothing but miles of the smoothest concrete ramps and grinds everywhere. Makes you want to grab your board and... Hold on, you can skate, right? Whatever, you pick it up! Or not. Look, it's fine. Your skills, my connections, ain't nothing we can't achieve. There's a whole world out there to discover. It's time to shine, my humanoid friend. Let's roll!
Yo! Fire! Combined with the music, I could play this. I would play this. Just you trying to do cool skate tricks. With like some chill ass music in the background.
Yeah, baby hopper. Big deals on tiny wheels. You need a board? You need a battery for that? Hello?
Brothers and sisters, you're hearing my voice because we have reached a crossroads in this war. We know now that no miracle is coming. That simply surviving is a slow death. That we will not win by holding our ground.
Our ranks have grown. Our skills have sharpened. And our weapons are loaded.
What the heck is this?
We have initiated a new strategy in Kamchatka.
I don't hate it.
Our forces are prepared to take back Rome.
I always be wondering where all these freaking zombies come from. If people are this effective at killing zombies, like,
We will not
how long
hide.
would the zombie threat realistically last?
There will be no retreat. Today we claw back from the brink. Today we make a stand.
Ah, okay, another World War Z game. I want to say the first one wasn't. They didn't think that was too
Welcome
bad.
back to IGN Expo! Ah, yes! Now, you all just got a sneak peek of Sifu and World War Z Aftermath, among others. Now, I can ramble all day about how great those reveals were, but you know, why ramble when we got Bramble? Now, this upcoming game from Dimfrost Studio promises to take you deep within the dark and mysterious world of folklore. Let's take a look at Bramble the Mountain King.
What's good, Akeem? I tried to sit through that stupid Koch Media game, Koch, however you pronounce it. It was terrible. It was one of the worst conferences I've ever watched. I told it, oh my gosh, this kid is a murderer, bro. Get him out of here. He gonna kill these little knockoff Smurfs, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Bro, whatever it is, you done hit it enough. He gonna kill you too. It don't matter that you bigger, you keep looking at him like this. Oh no. This looks like it kind of takes off of German fairy tales, which always had like a more darker twist to them. Before the Disney characters, like before Disney came along and brightened them all up, made them all family friendly, shaved off all the smooth, all the edges and stuff, and made it just like a round, appealing to children type thing. This just looks like kind of like, nah, we going back to the old school fairy tales.
I gotta say, Brian, Bramble, that was something. I'm all in on this one. You can definitely, from now on, call me a brambling man.
Yeah.
I'm in Bramble.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, yeah, the game looks really awesome. I just feel like you're really excited about the repeated stabbing thing. That seems like you're honing in on that specifically. You seem very into that, which is odd.
It's got everything that you want in a solid video game. I thought it was really awesome. I'm really excited for it, Brian. Just tell, what do we have next? Because I'm super excited, man. If Bramble was this damn good, we got to have something else coming up next that's just as equally, if not better.
Well, you know, whatever's up next, I think maybe we should pivot and have something with like considerably less chest stabbing. Maybe something like a little bit more chill, you know, something kind of relaxing.
I would indeed.
So you mean like, how about this? How about like skating with birds? Like skateboards? Skateboarding birds.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's very, very specific, but that would be super chill. Yeah, let's do it. Skating birds. Great.
Well, then you know what, Brian? I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to love this next game. Here comes Skateboarding Birds in Skatebird. Let's check it out.
Skatebird.
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 Does look chill. I don't know if I like it as much as Ollie Ollie World, but it does look pretty chill. The game looked pretty cool.
Wow, what a day. Well, that's all the time we have here on IGN Expo. I want to thank my hairstylist. I want to thank
Brian, hold on. Wait, are you insane, man? We're only halfway through. What are you doing?
Oh, wow. Well, this event is stacked with even more exclusive reveals and brand new trailers than I could have reasonably anticipated.
Facebook or Snapchat, we've always got you covered. IGN, the #1 source for all games and entertainment fans worldwide.
In a world with non-stop news about Marvel, DC, Star Wars, you need a show with accurate reporting, hard-hitting commentary, and...
Me, Akeem Lawanson, host of IGN's news show, The Fix Entertainment. Whether it's the latest superhero scoop, film fiasco, or anime announcement, I'll be here covering all the breaking movie, TV, and streaming news
Anybody
that
else
matters
annoyed
most
at how
to
they
you.
keep calling
Make sure to
everything
catch
anime,
The Fix
even though it's
Entertainment on
like Western
IGN for your
design?
Fix of Entertainment news. Let's drop it.
If you're not following IGN on social media, what are you waiting for? We're constantly updating our feeds to bring you the latest news, gameplay, custom original content, the best user-generated videos and art, memes, and a whole lot more. Be part of the conversation throughout the year.
This is the exact
Follow
same
IGN
commercial
on
they showed
Instagram,
last
Twitter,
year.
Facebook, TikTok, and
It's become
Snapchat.
Americanized. Yeah, that's exactly what they've kind of done.
What's up, everyone? Sydney here to bring you a little update about the future of IGN on YouTube. We've been listening to your
Sydney, you don't
feedback,
even
and it
work
seems
for-
like some of you are
This
more
is
into
literally
games,
just
while
a
others
commercial
are more
from last
interested
year.
in movies and TV. So we got to thinking about it and decided, why not both? Our main channel will still bring you all the biggest
Sydney, you
news,
don't work for them no
reviews,
more. You
previews,
quit.
and trailers to keep you up to speed on the most
She has her own
important
thing
highlights.
she's doing
But
now.
if you only want games content 24/7, head over to IGN Games. Movies and TV, more your thing? Check out IGN Movies and TV. More channels, more of the stuff you love, more IGN.
I want to thank DuckTales. I want to thank Anthony Franco's Pizzeria in Paramus, New Jersey. Really good, really garlic knots, really, is what
Yes,
a lot
that's right. That's right, Brian. Well, you know what? Welcome back. This is still the summer of gaming, and you found yourselves knee-deep in IGN Expo. Yes, we are jam-packed with some of the most unique games you'll see first right here on IGN.
Speaking of which, you know what I miss most during quarantine? Helping and moving friends. I just really love unpacking heavy crap and lifting it up in the air. And if you're a weirdo like me, then you probably get the sheer joy of games like Power Wash Simulator and Teardown. Well, keep an eye out in our next set of trailers for Unpacking. Probably the best unpacking simulator made to date.
Sure. Yeah. You know, there's also like a bunch of other trailers in there too, Brian.
I think they're
I
going to be
like
most excited
Power
about the
Wash
unpacking
Simulator.
one now.
It's fun to see things get clean.
Okay, you know, well,
and to,
fine.
like,
Well,
do
let's
that work without
unpack
doing that
all
work.
the
It's
trailers,
very
not just the
relaxing,
unpacking
but
one
I'm not
right now.
getting unpacking. I'm sorry. And Lawnmower Simulator, all that stuff. Get that up out of here, bro. Nope. You know what I could get down with though? A room designer simulator. I wonder if that's a thing. I'm gonna have to look that up because that would be pretty cool. Nah. I do love the animation though. I love the design of the game. That's cute. I'm not gonna pretend like it wasn't. It was pretty cool.
Hi, and welcome to a very quick sneak peek look at 2 Point Campus.
If you're not familiar with 2 Point games, think fun simulation management with a very particular 2 Point twist.
This that shit they did
In
last
Campus,
year
you'll
that I
get to
didn't
design and run your very own
I don't like when
university.
you have like.
But rather than
multiple-
boring
the same
courses,
game
we're giving
show up
you
at
the
multiple
opportunity
different
to teach your
conferences.
students
I don't
very
like that.
unusual classes, like Night School.
Like after people
In this
are
one,
aware
you'll
of
be
it at the
teaching
first
your
conference,
students heraldry,
you gotta hype it
chivalry,
up by yourself.
jousting, and
I
how
know
to
it's
walk around
crazy,
in
but like
really heavy armor.
you're just annoying people at this point. Like,
Here we're
alright, yeah, I'm
building the
aware
training
of it.
area
and
for our
I might have been
prospective
excited
knights.
for it the first
We
time.
watched
but
a
the second
ton
time,
of
like,
live
I've seen
streams
this
of 2
already.
Point Hospital, saw what people were vibing with, and we've added a ton of new creative tools for campus that will let you build outside, create
This
new
is definitely
buildings,
more detailed.
landscape, and place trees
Then
and
the Summer
pathways.
Game Fest kickoff one?
Here you can see
But
some
in
of our
that
night
case,
school
you should've
students
just shown
warming
this.
up with some practice dummies. If they can nail their classes, they'll get themselves straight A's. But if they don't have everything they need, great teachers, great equipment, and of course a great social life, they may fail.
It's just a super quick peek, but that's just a taste of what's to come in 2 Point Campus, which is out in 2022. If you sign up on our website at 2pointcampus.com, you can get yourself a free in-game item when the game launches. Lovely.
Okay. Oh, y'all making like Street Fighter arcades? Like literal arcades that you can stay home? Never been a sim guy. It depends. It depends on the simulation. I've noticed this has become more and more of a thing. Like you have your own arcade cabinet in your house. I think they bring you like $700 or something like that. That was more of a cartoon. That was more of a commercial.
Salve, friend.
I remember this. This was like the city where you couldn't commit any crimes or
the sins of the one. Salve, friend. Mind telling me who you are? I don't think so. I've never seen you before in my life.
Somebody in this city is about to break the golden rule.
Some people say it's the creation of an all-seeing God who's watching everything we do.
Basically, if you commit a crime, everybody turns into gold. Like if one person commits a crime, the whole city turns into gold.
Can I count on you to figure out who's about to break the golden rule?
How is it that you've just arrived here and you already know everyone and exactly what's about to happen to them? Salve, friend. I'm Galerius.
So there's a time resetting type thing to it.
From a new dawn, a hero rises, torn between two worlds, yet part of none.
This goes back to that thing I was telling y'all about with King's Bounty 2. That
It's your fate to free Nevendar.
top-down isometric view, it always makes you feel more detached. And it's becoming even more baffling as the character design become like the character models become so
into
detailed.
a
It's like, well, why
dark
don't you just
fantasy
do it?
strategy RPG. Find your place in a world of endless raging war between the four factions. Use your legacy to battle your foes, find loyal companions, and form a powerful army.
Lots of variety in the combat. So like I do understand why they do because to develop that in like 4K and like gigantic to scale, that would cost you so much money. Right? It does look pretty good.
Seize your destiny and liberate the land of Nevendar.
I mean, I try something like this.
Disciples Liberation. Coming soon to your PC, PlayStation, and Xbox.
You just saw the trailers for Unpacking, Disciples Liberation, Unpacking, and before that was The Forgotten City, and also Unpacking.
Yeah, there's a lot of unpacking there. Now, Brian, you might remember our next game,
Brian,
Wave,
so
when it was first announced years ago, but we haven't heard a ton from the team lately. Now, with that said, the little fox who stars in this Zelda-ish indie title still looks just as cute.
Akeem, I am so excited about this one. Let's check in with Tunic.
Tunic has been a darling of the gaming scene for several years now, and that's been its one and only problem. It's been quite a while since we first saw it, and it's still not out yet. The same demo has been making the rounds for many moons, but one-man developer Andrew Shouldice's absolutely adorable fox in his Zelda-like adventure is finally almost ready, and we got an exclusive hands-on with the all-new E3 2021 demo that's coming to your Xbox on June 15th.
When we go into combat,
here are 5 reasons why this charming fox needs to be on your radar.
It's just like the over-the-shoulder
Tunic's old demo didn't really make it clear how challenging the combat can get. In the new demo, which includes a slice of the overworld as well as one dungeon, you'll encounter a number of different enemies after you find, in order, a stick, a sword, and then a shield. From simple blobs to laser turrets to a giant bone monster that, try as I might with every power-up I could find in the demo, like ice bombs and sticks of dynamite, I could not bring down.
I wonder at what
I
point
presume I'll be more powerful later on in the full game to come back and conquer it, but the demo makes it clear that there are going to be places that you probably shouldn't go yet, no matter how tempted you are to get through the doors the toughest creatures are guarding. Speaking of which, who the heck is this fox? What is going on in this world? What does the in-game language mean, and will I ever be able to translate it? And why are there help screens in the world modeled after old-school video game instruction manuals and strategy guides? I love the added sense of mystery and intrigue that Tunic brings that it absolutely doesn't need to. The gameplay would be just as fun and the presentation just as compelling without them, but they're there, and they make me want to play more to uncover the answers to those questions.
The cinematic camera for when you do cutscenes and when you do dialogue, that's definitely a way to connect people to the characters without
like any good Zelda-style game, there are secrets hiding all over the place if you look carefully enough. Shouldice very politely requested that I not spoil any of them for you before you have a chance to play the demo for yourself, so I'll just say this.
I do wonder
Put
when
yourself
we're
in
gonna hit a
a Zelda mindset,
the game is so
and you'll
difficult.
probably have some good ideas of
everybody isn't geared for
Shouldice told me that there are 6 secret items hidden in the demo, which means there are certainly plenty more to discover in the full game as well.
Way too hard.
On this note, the new demo makes it pretty clear that you will not be completing Tunic in just one sitting. The one dungeon here has plenty of layers to it, and while you can save your progress at various shrines, doing so resets all the monsters. So there will be a constant tug of war between taking risks to progress and playing it safe. I do appreciate how there are environmental shortcuts that open up as you go, meaning that if you die, and believe me, you will die, respawning at the last save point means you won't have to walk as far or fight through everything all over again in order to get where you're going. But this world is clearly a big one, just like any Zelda-style game worth its salt. Finally, allow me to state the obvious. Tunic looks and sounds beautiful. The simplistic, colorful visuals lend Tunic a very playful visual tone, while the serene music adds a very pleasant, calming vibe to the gameplay. The combination of the two is fantastic. Tunic blends retro and modern in both the audio and visual departments in a way that gives it a wholly unique look and feel. I absolutely love it. And with that, I wholeheartedly recommend you play the Xbox demo yourself on June 15th, and after you do, I have little doubt that Tunic will not only ping on your upcoming game radar, but rocket up towards the top of your wish list in the process.
Bro, you about to
While
die.
Shouldice still hasn't given a concrete release date for Tunic, there's more reason than ever to believe that 2021 is finally the year. For more on Tunic, don't miss more gameplay from the old demo, and for everything else in the world of video games, stick with IGN.
IGN Expo is just reaching its peak, so don't go anywhere. Right now, we've got 6 fresh trailers loaded up like a blast cartridges in a laser pistol aimed at the heart of your boredom. 'Cause I know y'all get bored.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, did shoot a laser pistol at the heart of boredom. That's an apt metaphor, Akeem. It's also really dark.
The laser pistol at the
slightly
Koch
messed
Media
up.
program.
Anyway, our first trailer involves a show I know everyone loves, Saint Ranger Things. Following the adventures of Saint Ranger, the only Texas Ranger to ever be sainted.
Well,
you mean
Brian,
Things?
actually, I'm gonna have to poke a couple of holes in your cloud here, my boy. It actually that's a typo. It says Stranger Things.
All right.
Oh no, that's not a typo. I just can't read. Well, anyway, let's see what the Stranger Things or Saint Ranger Things team are doing in the world of Smite.
Solid.
Or Smitty.
Didn't we just find out about this? Smite got some crossovers for you though. Sucks about playing a first-person game. You just fall dead, you don't know what happened. Somebody just came behind you and took you out. Rage gameplay. Wait, is this a new game? The other game that they just showed, Split Game? I believe so. Okay, yeah, that's I mean, like a lot of games these days be unoriginal. I don't know what. So is the gimmick here that you work together to like protect your camp? Y'all trapped underground on some Gurren Lagann type stuff, huh? I don't think Splitgate is already out there. Farming Resource Game 57. They do make a lot of those. Hey, that's what everybody wanted. Everybody wanted the ability to make new games that weren't like AAA titles, and they all look the same. Splitgate first came out in 2019 on Steam, so I guess it's like a console. What? Yeah. Illuminati? Alright, I see. I do not know what that was. I have no clue. Whoa. Okay, I like this. I like the vibe of this.
Now that was the new game, Battle of the Bands. Now I can't wait for that one. That's actually being produced in part by The Living Tombstone, and we've got an exclusive music video from those guys you can check out over on IGN's YouTube channel.
You know, if IGN Expo were a battle of the bands, this would be the brief window between when each band plays and you can go buy an overpriced drink and use the bathroom and make a pee-pee.
Oh no.
You know what? Fortunately, you can still watch ads in the bathroom from your phone or your laptop.
Why would I watch ads in the bathroom,
Summer
bro?
of Gaming continues after this quick break.
Don't take your laptop to the toilet, y'all. Don't listen to Akeem. Don't do that. That's weird.
Come on.
How important is your job? You're going to bring your laptop to the toilet? Come on. Where do you work?
eBay. I'm trying to win something on eBay. It's an auction. Come on now. I'm trying to get a new NFT.
What are you trying to win the auction for, grossest dude? Because you already won. Haha. Gosh.
Man, sometimes the banter be like questionable, bro. Sometimes it'll like hit the right note of irreverent to be like funny, and then sometimes it's like,
Army National
look, man,
Guard.
it's too forced,
Pursue
bro.
multiple paths.
And then other times,
reach your greatest
you just
potential
should have
with
cut it off
Army
like a
National
minute
Guard.
before you
And
did.
by
It would've been
the Amazon
fine.
original movie, The Tomorrow
All you
War.
needed to stop at,
Exclusively
all
on
you had to
Prime
do is
Video
say
July
like,
2nd.
hey, look,
And powered
don't take your
by
don't take your
Duracell
laptop
Optimal,
to the bathroom.
the
It's gross.
official
And
battery
go to
sponsor
commercial.
of Summer
But
of
nah, they
Gaming
had to converse
2020.
about like, hey, you know, you can tell I'm trying to win something on eBay. Like, bro, we talking about video games. Like, everybody asks you about your eBay.
If you're not following IGN on social media, what are you waiting for? We're
Nobody
constantly
asked you.
updating our feeds to bring you the latest
Jack
news,
4 right after Splinter Cell at
gameplay,
5:30. Yeah, if Jack 4 is
custom
gonna be a
original
movie.
content, the best user-generated videos and
Now
art,
One Punch Man approved. Oh no.
memes, and a whole lot more.
Oh
Be
no,
part of
I
the conversation
Spider-Man is
throughout the
like
year.
that.
Follow IGN on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Snapchat.
Y'all definitely should have made up another commercial. Like, this is the commercial you used last year. You try the same schedule I did. I definitely didn't see the schedule y'all talking about because Splinter Cell is now a cartoon and Jack 4 is now fan fiction. You might be able to pick up Jack 4 at your nearest Hot Topic.
In a world with non-stop
It'll
news
be
about
a,
Marvel, DC, Star Wars,
one of the
you need
bobblehead
a show
figures.
with accurate reporting, hard-hitting commentary, and
Me, Akeem Lawanson, host of IGN's news show, The Fix Entertainment. Whether it's the latest superhero scoop, film fiasco, or anime announcement,
Jack
I'll
slander
be
will not be
here covering
tolerated.
all the breaking
Who slandered
movie,
it? I ain't
TV,
say it was a
and
bad
streaming
franchise.
news
I just
that
said they're
matters
not
most
making
to
another.
you. Make sure to catch The Fix Entertainment on IGN for your
Unless you
Fix
want to
of
get it as
Entertainment news. Let's drop it.
a pop figure.
Competition brings out the best in all of us. Well, mostly.
Oh, that's a controller break.
That's unfortunate. Welcome
Squirrel
to
said,
IGN
I think,
DP,
bro, I
where we
heard
bring you
you
the
swear
stories
with,
behind the esports headlines. From the triumphs
takes the game.
to the hardships
It's not happy.
to the miracle moments that will go down in history.
I just can't believe it.
It's
That's crazy.
It's all here on IGN Computer.
God, I'm in disbelief.
I just connected the dots on what they were advertising.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to IGN Expo.
Hey,
IGN
Steel
Summer
Rising.
Gaming.
A whole summer of gaming, and we're dishing up hot trailers and plenty of them. Barbecue, summertime, sand, the beach, kissing under the boardwalk. All the summer stuff you love and crave that I just made up. But coming up next, we've got trailers for a Metroidvania puzzle game, a classic murder mystery, and a game where you finally get to fight Louis XVI's robot army. I hate them.
That's insane, man. You know, and we got many more on top of all of that. I mean, these developers are really, really freaking creative. Let's check them out.
All right, what we leading off with? Okay.
That weird woman we saw when we played in the woods. She has a crooked nose with a yucky wart. It's just the long grey hair that makes her look old. But she's pretty young, actually.
She owns a black kitty.
She built herself a shelter out of wood and pieces of old cloth. I think it was standing on a chicken leg.
It's made of gingerbread chocolate candy and a lot of icing.
Or bones. She cooks in
This
a
does feel like
big
R8 a
black
little bit.
cauldron over the fire. Probably bats, spiders, mushrooms. She can always smell a child when it's close. You want
Y'all
to
know all about
if
this
all of that was
this witch
real.
or whatever. Why don't you stay
Well,
away from it?
Even if it wasn't before, it certainly is now.
Oh, that soup look like soup
Am I seeing things?
with
Or
spiders
did she
and
have
mushrooms
a
in it. No,
hunting
I'm
bug?
straight. This went in a completely different direction than what I expected it to. I just didn't expect a beat. It's be a horror game. You don't expect like to drop that beat, son. Oh, that's why. Blackface. Song in game or
Sorrow resonates through the kingdom.
at least have slick beats on the
I
track.
can feel it in the air.
That's true.
Fermenting thirst for revenge.
We train, we fight to push our limits. But what are yours when you have nothing to lose?
And so the sheep becomes the shepherd.
I want that same
Coming
thing. I agree.
this fool's paradise.
Don't hype me up like that for nothing.
What do you dream of becoming, Soren?
The immortals of Kirishora will stop at nothing to
Are y'all not
preserve
tired of
their
being like this? Or is that just me?
You lack the conviction to do what is necessary.
Oh, no.
Fate
We're got
is
songs
not
on.
so easily broken.
You continue to feed into this cycle of death. Your light doesn't deserve to fade just yet.
You remember our deal, don't you?
What? Rubbing belly stuff. I want to see more of Steel Rising. That was from the development studio that made Greedfall. Spiders, which at first sucked, but like Greedfall just looked really good. And I imagine Steel Rising is going to be better. I love Metroidvanias. I like them, but I'm tired of these gothic looking ones. But I definitely played a lot of Metroidvanias when I was a kid playing Game Boy Advance. Hey man, people still entertained by Bathroom Simulator, so I definitely still play Metroidvanias. I mean, you should have been here when they announced Unpacking, a game where you literally just unpack stuff. I was like, look, I like Power Wash Simulator, but this is a little too far for me. When I think of packing and unpacking, I just think of things right. I think. Ooh. Where you gotta fight that? Skies of Arcadia top down. Hey man, I want a real Skies of Arcadia. Next game, Nap Simulator. That they just released Nap Simulator. It was called the Koch Media Program. That was a nap simulator. Damn near put me to sleep. You mean simulating someone playing Smash? Or do you mean the other kind of Smash? Where we at? Let's go!
The king left us no chance.
They were too many, too strong, and made of steel.
The fighting was too one-sided. We were slaughtered.
The machines wouldn't even let me flee.
Oh no.
Paris burns and is lost, short of a miracle.
No, this is not Bloodborne, this is Steel Rising. It's made by the developers that made Dreamfall. Come on, man, you gotta give me more than that. I know y'all got y'all Nacon performance later on, but still, I needed a little more than that. I was like not quite invested. They gave Vivi a video game? I like that, but wasn't enough. I agree. That was definitely not enough.
Now, you just saw trailers for Blacktail, Black Skylands, Still Rising, and Unbound Worlds Apart. You can actually play that last one, the demo, right now on your Nintendo Switch.
And it's all a part of IGN Expo here on IGN Summer of Gaming. Brand new game trailers and reveals exclusively at IGN.
Yes, and in case 4 new game reveals wasn't enough for you, we have plenty more to come. And in the past, actually. That's right, y'all. Y'all need to understand. We're living in the middle of a vast time stream of trailers right now. Can you see them, Brian? Can you see the trailers? They're all around us right now, Brian.
I can, Akeem, and that's because I hit my head earlier this morning. So yes, we've got 4 more game trailers to unveil, and we're going to do that without further ado while I make sure my friend Akeem here is okay.
Oh, yes, I see them, Brian. The trailers, they're everywhere.
Yeah, you definitely hit your head too.
Y'all hit your head when y'all wrote that segment and thought it was a good idea. You definitely shouldn't have thought that segment was good.
Time is like gravity.
Oh my God, Finn, stop.
We are constantly falling forward.
Oh, this is pretty.
Without noticing it. But then, it all stopped for me.
I just wanted something kind of artsy and fun. But no, you had to delve into that horror shit.
Dear Journal.
At least
It's been a while. I think.
I almost said something that I wasn't supposed to say.
And I am still unsure why I am talking to you when I am clearly the only one listening. I guess to keep some sanity.
This that game
You're
you
still
play with a
stuck.
controller and a TV.
If you are starting to lose it, please don't.
That's a lot of games, man.
That's the only way we can get back. I'm counting on you.
Oh. I love the music in this game. Broken pieces.
Nanny,
Yes, Julia?
Mars is not here. So
Man, I swear there's like another horror game every like
But
2
you always
seconds.
find that story
They
scary.
always around the corner somehow.
Yes, Nanny. But I'm with you. So I know nothing can hurt me.
Oh, all right, little one. There was once a couple madly in love.
My man said Toy
who would
Story 5
often
was because of the
stroll
action
by a
figures?
lake.
Nah, this some type of horror game,
But
bro.
one day, in a fit of jealousy, the man drowned the young
Oh
woman.
no.
Too much love brought death.
How can love also be so bad?
This is something you will learn with age, Poppet.
Bro, you must didn't see Spike.
The man confessed. So he was hanged in the middle of the very same lake where he had killed his beloved.
Bro, this that RE8 stuff
They
again, ain't it?
searched everywhere, but the girl's body was never found. Since then, the spirit of the girl,
If I hear
known
another
as the
tiny
White
girl in there,
Lady,
man, I
wanders
promise, bro.
restlessly in search of relief from her eternal suffering.
My man's neck wasn't strong. I don't
Only
think your
the
neck can be
life
strong enough to
of
resist
another
being haunted.
young woman can give the lady a moment of peace.
That's always terrible to hear. I'll never get used to it.
You never get used to that kind of pain, my sparrow. But those in great pain can attempt to evoke the lady through a dark ritual and magic of the tarot.
Why?
As the lady knows their suffering all too well.
As RE8
She
started a
could
storybook
show them
trend.
pity.
It feels like it. But I mean, you wouldn't have known that the game was told like that in time for these trailers. I think this is just sometimes you have a lot of creators on the same wavelength without realizing it. I'm so tired of oh snap, she flipped over a bottomless trap hole. That's definitely what happened. We got into space. Swallowed by the back. Space Gate, can you endure the horrors of the void? Space Gate, shoot 'em up 43. It do feel like they have a lot of these. And survive. Haunted space.
The catastrophe of 1986 was a great gift for humanity.
I just want a space game where you go out into space and explore.
What are you
and meet
talking about?
Alien races that aren't trying to kill you. That's all I want. But it just seems like that's too much to ask. Nap space. You wasn't digging it, man. You ain't like that. Cause I mean, it looked kind of fun. I'm just not too attached to only being in my space in the spaceship. But I like the customization that you have. You're not meeting no alien races in No Man's Sky Akeem. Like you just meet like random animals. I'm talking about cultures, cities, worlds.
I need you here. You're going to help me save her.
Igor.
Chernobylite opened a door to something that will change the history of mankind forever. Forever.
This is a lot of games, though. I can't pretend like it's not.
We can be together, Igor, but you have to learn the truth if you truly want to find me.
Like 27 games? And I may have missed one or two, so more than 27 actually.
You cannot succeed alone, but there are others who will help you.
Where you cannot trust this woman that's talking to you right now.
The last stretch.
Post-apocalyptic
so much for me.
87. What games are you trying to see, man?
Make sure
you can roast it all
because
over.
It will take everything you have.
This
Your
man
wits,
sick.
your strength,
Number
your
87,
plan,
43,
your companion's
29.
loyalty,
Like, dang.
everything. Good luck, my love.
Waiting on Jack for again.
You know what? What a
You had to
fantastic
go down
show
to
full
the
of
hot
great
topic
new games to look
and get a
forward
pop
to.
figure.
I'm hyped for each and every
Jack
one of them.
figure,
Now, we
Series 4.
just saw new gameplay footage from Broken Pieces, Martha is Dead, Haunted Space, and Chernobylite. Now, I'm personally looking forward to Sifu, since Absolver was a really unique game.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I'm personally looking forward to Bramble because I have some deep-seated issues with my dad that I need to work out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? We really went for, I think we went for like all killer, no filler this year with these trailers, which means you barely had to hear from us two. So you're welcome for that. And don't forget, y'all, E3 coverage starts tomorrow.
That's right. And if you're just joining us, sorry you missed the entire show. Your clock is broken or something. Sort it out. But yes, Summer of Gaming continues tomorrow with the Ubisoft Forward Conference. So be sure to join us all as we break down the biggest reveals all E3 long.
Like,
not to mention conferences from
a little
Square
bit of awkward
Enix,
commentary
Xbox and
is
Bethesda, and Nintendo Direct,
okay?
all happening next week. So hit up IGN.com for a full schedule. The Summer of Gaming continues as long as there's gaming in your heart and Mario in your sunshine. Yeah.
That is really weird, but that was also sweet. I love you for that, Akeem. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. You're awesome,
all jokes
and
aside,
goodbye.
I'm just happy to see black faces
Take care,
on
y'all.
IGN. Like, as far as like me
Summer
dumping
of
on them
Gaming
and all of that,
2021
like,
is presented by
putting that guy
Army
trying too
National
hard.
Guard.
I mean, yeah, definitely.
Pursue multiple
But I
paths
just
while
imagine
you-
he's kind of new to it all and just trying to find his way, like trying to find a purpose and whatnot. So I feel you. Like, I feel the guy. Like, I understand. I probably would feel a little lost myself. My God, why was this 2 hours? This had no reason. Boy, look at that dislike bar. Look at that dislike bar. 1.4 thousand dislikes to what? First of all, who liked this? I wouldn't go so far as to dislike it, but why would you like it? That program was trash. We're only going back just to see if there was some gameplay we missed. Endless interview, gameplay, endless interview.
We want to show how vulnerable she is, how scared she is.
There's no way you could have liked
this. You know, because
you was mad at that other stuff, you'd have been super hot at this.
Is an isometric dystopian sci-fi RPG scheduled for release this autumn.
And yeah, we can't wait to see more.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to people playing the game. We're really excited about it, and thank you for this talk. Yeah.
Game devs
now for something completely different.
Not of like
Brian Fargo himself, the granddaddy of top-down isometric RPGs, says he is excited about a game. That's gotta mean Prime Matter is getting something right. Encased is an isometric dystopian sci-fi RPG scheduled for release this autumn. And this new trailer, which we're unveiling today, should give you a pretty good flavor of what the game is all about.
We're gonna finish up.
It's 1976.
This, but we're skipping all the interviews. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry.
But here's the skinny. We at Cronus need you. Cronus was formed after a dome-like structure was discovered 5 years ago. Was it from our ancient past? Was it made by aliens? Does it run on perfectly harmless nuclear power? We need to know, and humanity is waiting for you to help unlock its secrets. Descend into the dome itself and join one of our incredible research teams. The only question is, which wing of Cronus is the best fit for you? Okay. If you like taking orders, cracking heads, ultra-violence, and guns, lots of guns, then the Black Wing is for you. Can you build and repair incredible technology, but not expect any credit for it? You sound like an engineer to us. Welcome to the Blue Wing. Are you a doctor, scientist, mathematician, or any other type of brainiac? We've got you covered in the White Wing. Do you like taking credit for the hard work of others, but never do anything yourself? Those forms won't fill themselves. That's management, mister. And the Silver Wing awaits.
You're not wrong.
Are you a criminal, prisoner, or have no discernible skills whatsoever? Then you're coming to the Orange Wing, like it or not.
How's your afternoon going, Jordan?
Are you ready to make the change with us?
Now 76.
Are you ready to love it so much that you'll
get out
never want to leave? Then join Cronus and take the second giant leap for mankind under the dome.
That's not all. Opal got to sit down with the creative brains behind Encased.
I mean, I know being productive
Let's go to St. Petersburg in Russia and speak to Vyacheslav Kosahin, creative director of Dark Crystal Games and the brains behind their upcoming isometric RPG Encased.
I was just playing around for the most part. I saw a few things that seemed interesting. Definitely a lot of horror. Man, there's no shortage of horror games lately. I think Twitch has played a large part in that, just because there's so many people that like seeing horror games. Where you got a whole mech suit and you throwing hands, you don't shoot a laser. I know, right?
Spot on the time.
Why is this interview so long?
You know, when satellites do not get more time to work on the project and polish it so it would be in the perfect state. While our
found out Lark Stark got a release date in North America. I'm super hyped about that. Yeah, we saw that yesterday. Was it, I think Summer Game Fest or whatever. I thought that was interesting. You a big Lost Ark guy?
Which just make the game better.
Nope.
It might be at the time, but you know, growing the team and building up. A lot of us like grew up in the country from different locations.
Been waiting for it since I found out about it like 5 to 6 years ago. Yeah, I remember seeing Lost Ark a while back, and I just I forgot about it. And then when they showed it again, I was like, oh, okay, this is dope.
We were the best at everything per capita, and among those in the Nordic.
Give people more information about Echoes of the End.
From one side of the globe all the way to the other. If you like the game Gothic and hardcore RPGs, The Last Oricru is just for you. I got to sit down with two of the guys from Gold Knights and talk all about them and their new game.
Hello there guys, today I am joined by Gold Knights creative and game director Pavel Strnad and executive producer Vladimir Gershil to talk about their game, The Last Oricru.
Hi Opal. Hi Opal.
So you guys make The Last Oricru. What is the game about?
Don't care. Like, this is... I just cannot believe that somebody did this.
Involved in many wars.
Now I'm all for seeing what the devs have to say and hear their thought process, so show some good footage. History has shown times where they talk so much and then the game comes out a hot steaming bag of seasoned grasshoppers with a side of trash.
So the game has co-op. Can a friend help me with the boss battles? Can we play?
Yes, sir. Both of y'all. Fallout 76 Anthem is just like, you did all this talking and then the game came out and it was trash.
For you, but you feel a little bit sad that you cannot share that.
Sizzle, and now let's hear from our friends at Starbreeze.
And aiming at building a really memorable new game franchise. And being part of the starting portfolio of a brand.
I mean, in the case of Avengers,
gives us a great opportunity.
They was quiet for a long time. Like, they didn't really talk a lot.
Thank you so much, Pavel and Vladimir, for your time. It's been awesome talking to you about everything The Last Oricru, and I just can't wait for people to get their hands on it.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
We teased it in the sizzle, and now let's hear from our friends at Starbreeze to talk about Payday 2, Payday 3, and their upcoming cooperation with Prime Matter.
Thank you, Jeff, and hi, everyone. We're excited to be here, excited to talk about Payday, and excited to be working with Prime Matter. At Starbreeze, we see Payday as the ultimate bank robbing experience,
Outriders is solid if you
inspired
look
by
past the
classic
bugs.
heist movies.
Outriders
providing
performed
a
very well for
thrill-filled
Square Enix
gameplay
last time I
where you
checked.
get to
Like they
experience
got
the
like
thrill of being on the wrong side
3.5
of the
million
law
sales in
with
like a
smart
handful of
plan
like just
and
a
gun
couple
in
of
your
months,
hand.
which is
This
very good
is
for like
what
a
we've been
non-established
doing since
IP.
the original game, Payday the Heist, through the sequel, Payday 2, to the upcoming Payday 3. And our ever-growing player community, our heisters, continue to be an inspiration for us in everything we do, pushing us to make the best Payday possible.
Is anybody in chat a Payday fan, like at all?
The world of Payday is an exaggerated reflection of reality where order is kept by the long arm of the law.
I like Payday.
At
Okay.
least until the heisters turn this order into chaos, giving the law the middle finger.
Five
That's when
times in an hour,
adrenaline truly kicks in and the outnumbered
I feel like a lot of those
keeps
games got
meeting
kind of
odds,
rushed out.
often escaping with the cash
Like
in
you
a
had
hail
COVID forcing
of
people to
bullets.
work from home,
The
which
Payday
caused a lot of
universe
problems.
has an ongoing narrative that has been created over the years. The gang has built
like
a
Payday when it
reputation by
hits
going
my
after the
house.
highest profile targets, setting up some of the craziest heist plans, and going up against some of the most powerful of enemies. And through all of this, the gang keeps coming out on top. In their exploits, the gang has become, as they call it, the tightest crew ever. The wider criminal underworld of Payday lives its own life, where movers and shakers want a piece of the action, or a piece of the Payday gang. In the gang's life of crime, they are way past the point of no return. And as we look ahead for
I
what's to
imagine
come,
playing
the gang will
Outriders is a
learn
lot
that
better
there's no
on
rest for the wicked.
on PC. Surprised Payday is still around. Hey man, some franchises
This
they just
legacy is
stick, bro.
something that we treasure and will build on, expanding on this epic story, taking you all with us into the future of Payday. Many millions of players have enjoyed Payday so far. It's been an amazing journey for us at Starbreeze. On Steam, Payday 2 has the biggest player community of any game. This truly means the world to us.
Payday turns 10 this year, but
I hated
we're
Outriders
only
on
getting
PS,
started.
just control aiming is
With
garbage.
our team hard at work, cooperation
Although,
with Prime Matter and other partners,
I'm gonna disagree
and
because
above
I just
all,
don't.
a fantastic
I hate
player
controlling
community.
anything
We
with
are looking to
a
the
keyboard and
future
mouse.
with
That
great
shit's gross.
anticipation.
I'm rich. It's Payday, fellas.
The release of Payday 3 is years away, but we could finish off today with a sneak peek of what we're working on, a taste of things to come.
All right. Bro, come on. Do more than a still shot. Quit playing.
There you have it. Quite a lineup. And Opal, I know we're going to be hearing much more from Prime Matter in the weeks and months ahead, right?
That's a great question.
We got a
Prime
taste.
Matter will be taking
Screenshot.
a huge leap into the streaming world. From June the 14th, we'll be streaming 3 times a week, every week, providing you guys with gameplay content, achievement and trophy hunting
Embarrassing.
streams, as well as
All right,
Dungeons
look.
and
Let's go from the top. Let's do a quick little recap before we get out of here. They used some nice colors in that frame. Look, that Koch Media performance is the most baffling thing I've ever seen in 8 years of watching game conferences online. Like, I just cannot believe what they did. Every rule that you think you could have had, they broke them. Like, just sitting down and talking to developers with no gameplay, no idea of, like, what the game, like, most of those games hadn't even been announced. Nobody knew what they were until yesterday, and now people care less about them yesterday than they do today because you showed them off in the most boring... Stop that. You didn't show anything, and it was the most boring way of presentation I've ever seen in my life. Like, I just don't understand what the logic was behind that Koch Media presentation. Koch Primetime or whatever. I've gotten it wrong like 5 times. Just that shows you just how little respect I'm putting on them. I'm sure the developers are killing themselves on those projects. And I'm actually pretty excited they were on, Koch. You right. That's exactly what they were on. I'm sure the developers are killing themselves, and it's not their fault. It is the publisher's fault. You're supposed to put them in a position to succeed, and you did not do that. Like, I just can't imagine why you would do something like that. If you don't have anything to show, then don't show anything. Don't just show up at E3 and think, well, we'll show up and put our games on the map. Like, no, your games aren't on the map. They're showing dozens of games. Every day they show dozens of games during E3. And if you don't have some kind of like hook, like, I'm out. And there were some games, like I saw a couple of games from Gematsu on Gematsu that are coming from Prime Matter that look pretty exciting. And then they didn't show anything from any of them. They just sat down with the developers and tried to get into, like, that probably would have read fine. Like, if you had done a, like, back in the day, if it had been like a magazine and you had like a 12-page spread and you sat there and talked to the developers about their, what was going into like the process of developing the game and like what inspired them to make that type of game, that would have been fine on like an old school magazine. It's not fine for for today where everything is so visually focused. That's why I'm on screen right now instead of writing about this. I don't know. On the whole, today, not a wash just because of the IGN Expo. It was solid. Like, I took some shots at Brian Altano and the new guy. I forget his name. I apologize. But they did good. They did very good. They were engaging. They had like an on-screen, what's the word I'm looking for? Charisma, but not that. They had rapport. They had a nice on-screen rapport. It worked really well. I enjoyed what I saw from them. They did an excellent job just like keeping things moving, and they understood what Koch Media did not understand, which is pacing, the importance of pacing. They kept things moving as fast as they could. Now, they had a couple of commercials in there, and I didn't really like that. Like literal commercials, not like Jeff Keighley's commercials where it's just like, here's a trailer of Genshin Impact. They had commercials of like, come check out IGN television and IGN competitive, and they're like, all right, bro, this ain't the time for that. But setting that aside, because that's not something they can control, the expo as a whole, solid. This man said, I hate great games I can't get into more than trash games I can ignore. Everything ain't for everybody. What is the game on Morgan Le Fay? It's another season of Smite. Like, this is just, I just went back to the beginning of IGN Expo, which has a lot of pre-show stuff in it. Wow, some of this was shown off before the actual, that's a little weird. That trailer looks so fire for Smite. Smite seems like it's still, that's another game that just keeps getting support, even though I like nobody ever talks about it. And I guess that's a lot of ongoing games. Like, we have ongoing games like Warframe you guys were bringing up, and Smite, and really any ongoing, like any game that lasts for a certain years of time, like Destiny and Division. Like, they'll still have these gigantic fan bases and they're still like getting support. You just forget about them. They just kind of fade out of the general gaming discussion. I mean, I guess that's what has to happen, because like, if you're not playing it, how much, like, there's certain people, like most people aren't going to play Smite, most people aren't going to play Destiny. Like, they're going to have their sizable audience, but most people are going to be like, all right, this isn't for me, I'm going to move on to the next thing. Especially in multiplayer games, because like single player games, you play them for a while, you finish them, you move on. Multiplayer games, they're around forever, and like, you got to eventually talk about something else, especially if you're not playing it. When does PoE 2 come out? You got me.
Anyway, I'll tell you a little bit about the games. Ready to feel the beat?
This looks like the most exciting boxing game. It's apparently not a Rocky game, but it features a ton of Rocky characters, which I think is actually pretty smart. Big Rumble, Creed Champions boxing. Yeah. So that was solid. We got another look at Sifu. That was pretty good. Let's just shoot ahead a little bit. Is PoE 2 available? I wouldn't think so.
The position of the inkwell indicates that the victim is left-handed. However, the bullet entered the right temple.
I'm concerned about this game. Like, I'm super concerned. A boxing game? Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, they make boxing games still once every 5 years or something like that.
I have it. They belong to
I'm concerned about this game purely because they won't show any gameplay. I've seen it for 2 years now, and I've yet to see a speck of like, what does it look like when Sherlock Holmes is walking around this city and exploring the so-called open world? Like they say there's combat in the game. What does the combat look like? What does this game look like? What is the, like, I know what it is, but they haven't shown any combat. They haven't shown any like actual gameplay, and that's always worrying. Other than that, like, this was a solid, they showed gameplay look on YouTube. All right, I'll check it out. Actually, we can check that out right now because I'm curious. That's cinematic. I want actual, like, gameplay. Is this it? Okay.
When it comes to crime solving, Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1 does not mess around. Whether I was investigating a crime scene, interviewing a person of interest, or drawing conclusions that would determine someone's guilt or innocence, Chapter 1 absolutely never held my hand. If I missed some critical pieces of evidence and accused the wrong person of murder, oh well, an innocent man goes to prison and I get to walk around thinking I've delivered justice.
How could she do this?
If I found someone committed murder but decided to let them go free anyway, that was totally my prerogative. This complete lack of any kind of safety net or morality system to nudge me in one direction or another was a breath of fresh air that made my short time with Chapter 1 far more interesting than a straightforward adventure game. After all, I'm supposed to be the world's most brilliant mind and a masterful detective. Why shouldn't I be expected to put the pieces together myself or fail in the effort? Even though Chapter 1 takes place during Holmes's early days as a 21-year-old upstart, Sherlock seems ever confident in his knack for observation and reasoning in the section I played, and the short introductory quest immediately required me to put those skills to the test. With my childhood friend John at my side, I dove into a murder mystery involving a mystifying seance and characters with secret pasts and hidden motives. In one section, I used my enhanced talent for observation to discover which person in a crowd had a military background, and in another, I eavesdropped on some gossip to learn about a scandalous affair. Many steps and clues in the investigation were missable if I didn't notice a detail or made an error in logic, which could lead me down a path to unknowingly identifying the wrong killer. And unless I made a habit out of saving and reloading as often as possible, Chapter 1 did nothing to nudge me in the right direction. And I appreciate that about it.
Can you describe the thief for me?
That said, sometimes Chapter 1's odd way of presenting information and somewhat clunky menus led to errors that felt unearned, while others happened organically as I missed a beat somewhere along the way. Either way, I was expected to figure it out or suffer the consequences, and that's the beauty of Chapter 1. Nailing a puzzle and feeling like an erudite sleuth is awesome precisely because it feels so well earned.
It seems there may have been an unexpected visitor outside the window.
On the other hand, making a mistake often left me in disbelief at just how little the game cared if I was successful.
So it's like a much harder Ace Attorney.
All the while, John followed me around making notes in his diary as his opinion of me shifted based on my performance. The fact that Sherlock is young and perhaps a little more cocky than he should be serves Chapter 1 well, because either he's young and still brilliant as ever, or he's overconfident and has a lot to learn. With my success or failure, I got to decide which Sherlock I was. And in a world where lots of games make you feel like you're bowling with bumpers on, this level of freedom was incredibly refreshing, even when it felt a bit harsh.
Your best strategy now is to confess and hope your reasons were justified.
The small glimpse I got of Chapter 1's open-world island of Cordona felt equally unrestrictive, with optional side quests, locations, and events I can take at my own pace. The prospect of a brutally Darwinistic
the facts on the actual character
game is incredibly appealing. But because my time in the open world aspect of Chapter 1 was so limited, it remains to be seen if something so ambitious can even work. I'm sure a lot of learnings from the developer's previous game, The Sinking City, will be applied. Either way, it's piqued my curiosity quite a bit, and I'm excited to see if they can pull it off. For more on Sherlock Holmes, don't miss the official gameplay reveal trailer, and for everything else in the world of video games, keep snooping around IGN.
Alright, okay. it looks fine. Like it doesn't. I'm not worried about it anymore. Like it doesn't. I don't feel like it might be a sham or some shit like that. Which I knew it wasn't gonna be a sham because Frog Warriors is a trusted developer, but just like another folklore, man. I mean, like, good luck. I'm not gonna say that. They might actually be working on another one, but I mean, like, like everything on here was nothing big, but it was solid. Like everything was solid. Did we get a look at Tiny Tina at some point? I mean, not Tiny Tina, but Sifu. I wanted to go back and look at that again because that looked incredible. Akeem, are you interested in Wonderlands at all? Like this little fantasy spinoff of Borderlands? I haven't decided if I'm gonna need to see like an extended gameplay section. That's the problem I've had with a lot of these, like especially the bigger games. Anything that looked like it might take longer than 10 seconds to develop, it felt like nobody wanted to show gameplay. Everybody just wants to show like a little cinematic cutscene and then call it a day. And I'm like, nah, bro. Like I need actual proper gameplay. But overall, like, Koch Media gets an F. F minus. What's below F minus? Whatever that is, that. The IGN Expo gets a straight up C. It gets a C. Like it's not terrible, it's not great. It wasn't boring. I almost wanted to give it a B, but ultimately, like, I'm only thinking that it deserves a B because the Koch Media performance deserved like what it got. Like -5 stars exactly. Like it was just such a dull, unorganized way to promote something. Like even the interviews themselves, they didn't seem like they were edited for time. It just felt like they just cut a bunch of interviews, stitched them together, and was like, that's enough. Did you see the Pokemon with guns game? What is it? Palmon or some shit like that? Whatever that was, yeah, I saw it. It looked terrible. Like, not terrible as in bad, but just terrible as in, like, I couldn't in good conscience play that game. Like, I was like, yo. At first, I was like, yeah, this looks like fun, a different way to do Pokemon. And then I saw, like, them use the little Pokemon as, like, a human shield. And I was like, oh, my God. I could not play this without being a horrible person. I'm sure some people want to write in the childhood. Exactly. I haven't played Pokemon since 2001 or 2004, somewhere up in it, since, like, Ruby. I had, like, an emulated copy of Ruby. I hadn't played Pokemon since then, since Gen 3. And it still just was like, I can't. I'm sorry. Commercials. This was probably the highlight of the show. I wish we had gotten some kind of release date, but I was still happy with like an extended look at the combat because the combat was just so solid. God, that dude got murdered. Yeah, this is definitely the best game at the press conference. I mean, at this expo. They even had the super distressed look on the monster's face. Not like, yeah, I got this as Bullet Twin, but like, yo, what you doing, homie? Yeah, that was definitely by design. I don't think you're supposed to play the game like that, but the fact that you could made me a little, like, unsettled. And I don't know about it. I still don't know what this game is. I assume it's like a builder game. Brings back Sleeping Dogs memories. Oh, yeah, you better believe that was wild. That was part of why I was hyped for Sifu. I was like, yo, this feels like Sleeping Dogs. It still has, like, it has that same vibe to it, even though it's obviously, like, not going to be as narrative focused. But, yeah, I think the problem we ran into with this conference, more than anything, is that at the end of the day, you have bigger people that are asking for video games. Microsoft is asking for games. It's Wild West Tycoon, I believe that's what this game is. Microsoft is asking for video games. There's gonna be a Sony program next month, I imagine. It's definitely not this week or whatever, but there's gonna be a Sony program sooner rather than later. They're gonna be asking for games. Like, everybody wants to see your games, and then you do have PC Gaming and Future Game Show, and you can only have so many shows because there's only so many games, and so you run into like these scenarios where they'll show you like a little bit of a tease here and full gameplay at another place, or they just show you the same trailer again and again. That was a big problem last year, and I have this feeling, judging by what we've seen from both the kickoff and this, that we're gonna see that again. Like, they're gonna be games that just repeat themselves for no reason. And I'm not excited about it, but that's the risk you run, especially in like a digital area where everything's free and you don't just have to like spend money on your presentation. Wild West Dynasty. Okay. I have no idea what this is, but it does feel like a Minecraft type of thing.
I know what you're thinking. Who is that gorgeous?
Oh, this is the other like really good game that I was excited for.
Successful as him. Well, I'll tell you, kiddo. You gotta come to Radlandia, the place of opportunity, where even the ice cream's dreams of hitting the big time. You see these guys? They've got that go-getting attitude, making it happen in the streets. And oh, the streets, kid. Forget paved with gold. Here, there's nothing but miles of the smoothest concrete ramps and grinds everywhere. Makes you want to grab your board and... Hold on, you can skate, right? Whatever, you pick it up.
Oh no,
Or not.
that
Look,
metal,
it's
that
fine.
metal
Your
plate.
skills, my connections, ain't nothing we can't achieve. There's a whole world out there to discover. It's time to shine, my humanoid friend. Let's roll.
I'm not gonna lie, I like this way more than I like Skatebird. Like, that name was cute and all, but this just, the vibe is so cool.
Ollie Ollie World. Take a trip.
But yeah, this is definitely one of the better games that they showed off. But I'm not gonna hold you guys because we do have a stream tomorrow. We have streams all the way into Wednesday. So if you're interested in E3 and you want to see, like, watch along, get used to this beautiful face. It's been great having you guys here. I don't think we're gonna stream tonight because I do have work to get to. But if I do stream, I'll like tweet about it and whatever. Tomorrow, oh, this was that Left 4 Dead Russia game.
No miracle is coming.
What a way to
Simply
describe this.
surviving is a slow death. That we will not win by holding our ground.
Our ranks have grown, our skills have sharpened, and our weapons are loaded. We have initiated a new strategy, Kamchatka.
Our forces are prepared to take back Rome.
We will not hide. There will be no retreat. Today
Try to fight off a horde of rams for the right instead of running deserve to die. I mean, isn't that the rule of a lot of horror games, especially zombie games? You make bad decisions, and when you die, everybody's like, you deserve it. That's what you get for being dumb. Alright, I just had to look up real quick.
Welcome back to IGN Expo. Yes,
I was way too hard on you, man. Like, I wish I was in the position you're in, and I understand that, like, being new to this, it's hella work. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow at noon or at 1. At 1, yeah. The pre-show is probably not going to be too much of anything, so we'll be in here at 1 o'clock streaming the Ubisoft Forward pre-show. I appreciate everybody that showed up today. I apologize for the first half of, oh my God, that's still just so violent. I apologize for the first half of the show that was just like death. But I do hope you had a fantastic time with all the fantastic people here. I appreciate every single one of you, and we will see you guys tomorrow.